Okay, folks, we are back. This is Street to Strategy. This is episode 21. And man, it is going quick. Obviously, hit that subscribe button. Give me a like as well. Also, you can get my first book. It's on Amazon. Welcome to the Show That Never Ends. My second book will be out in June. Let's give our guest an introduction. Some lives are counted in titles, but today's guest has been counted in service. Across every chapter, he has stood as a steady believer in teamwork, integrity, and the power of a clear and noble purpose. His journey reminds us that true leadership is never a rank on a business card. It is a lifelong promise to serve something greater than yourself. His life is unfolded in chapters written by struggle, by sacrifice, and by stubborn and relentless hope, forged in hardship, strengthened by duty, shaped by faith in people and possibilities. He was born and raised in Porterville, California, among dust and citrus groves, Friday night lights, and small-town dreams that feel enormous when you're young. The middle child in a family of 6, he learned early how to fight for space, how to work for what was wanted, and how to stand his ground and how to stand out. But the road that defined him would stretch far beyond the San Joaquin Valley. At Fort Sill, Oklahoma, on September 11, 2001, he watched the world change in an instant. 2 years later, on Valentine's Day of 2003, he stepped onto a plane bound for Iraq, trading ordinary life for a battlefield most of us only know through distant images. For 12 years, he wore the uniform of a United States Army National Guard. 2 combat tours, endless convoys through hostile territory, long desert roads where danger waited in silence and dust. Moments that demanded courage most people will never be asked to summon. Decisions that carried the weight of other men's lives. He lived by a simple creed: mission first, soldiers always. And on his second deployment, that mission asked more of him than anyone should have to give. Severely wounded in a roadside bombing, awarded the Purple Heart and sent home bearing scars, both visible and unseen. But his story did not end on the battlefield. Coming home became its own kind of war. Through VA therapy, fierce determination, and an unbreakable will, he rebuilt himself one day at a time. When others might have accepted limits, he chose to keep moving forward. He went to college when many thought his best days were behind him. He graduated with honors from Porterville College, then from Fresno State. He became a voice for veterans, a leader on campus, a living proof that service does not end when the uniform comes off. And then he did something almost no one expected. With no political experience, no powerful donors, every odd stacked against him, he ran for the California State Assembly. Outspent 10-1, called an underdog, written off before the first vote was cast, and he won anyways. Because sometimes authenticity beats money. Sometimes character beats connections. Sometimes real experience matters more than a polished resume. In office, he fought for water, for agriculture, for veterans, and for the hardworking people of the valley he calls home. He built coalitions where others built walls. He stepped into hard fights others avoided, and he carried the discipline of a soldier into the storms of politics. He kept learning, he kept growing, he kept serving. He earned a master's degree in strategic public relations from George Washington University, graduated with honors. Completed the Department of Energy's Legislative Energy Horizon Institute, and eventually launched Azimuth Public Relations, dedicated to bringing people together to solve problems too many chose to walk away from. Through every chapter, the same thread runs true. A heart committed to service, a belief in the dignity of hard work, a willingness to step forward when it would be easier to step aside. He is a father of 5, a veteran, a bridge builder, a survivor, a man who has lived his life answering one relentless, courageous question: who will go first? Today, we sit down with a leader shaped by hardship, strengthened by purpose, and driven by a simple but powerful desire to leave this world better than he found it. Please welcome my guest. This is Devon Mathis. Welcome to the show.
Jason, thank you.
What do you think, man?
Do you give me chills?
Hey, you know what? Going through your CV, I can tell you this. There's not many people that come on here that are as educated as me. You are. And it's always nice to sit down with somebody that lived an experience. I tell you this, man, I have a ton of respect for you. Anybody who served in the military has my utmost respect. Anybody that's accomplished what you've accomplished has my utmost respect. You are a true heavy hitter, brother.
I'm just a guy, man. It's, people talk about acronyms, and I'm like, can I just put dude?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Well, I tell you something. You left dude a long time ago, and let's get to it. When you hear the word home,
oh, man.
What place pops in your mind?
So I actually had a postcard, San Joaquin Valley postcard. Back, I think I saw it right before I shifted off to the basic training. And it had these 4 pictures, and it was like citrus groves, like a horse in a pasture, just kind of country.
Yeah.
And when growing up, family's all Porterville. Like Porterville, the Veterans Park in Porterville. Let me start there. So there's the Target Shopping Center.
I know, right where you're talking.
So that used to be the Jarvis family. So mom's mom.
Got it.
So my granny, that was their cotton ranch.
Oh, wow.
He was a submariner.
Okay.
Stationed at Pearl Harbor and was on patrol the day it got bombed.
Wow.
So I grew up every Memorial Day going to Olin Jarvis's gravesite, hearing these stories. So that's patriotism is deep in the blood.
Yeah.
That was the cotton ranch. The second Oak Tree Inn, you can go out there today. This is where I take my boys to have the serious talks. If you look up, there are still the 2x4s of my great uncle's tree fort.
Wow.
So when people are like, oh, dude, Porterville, you could be anywhere. And it's yeah, but literally the roots are there. Fast forward, right? Born there. I remember mom and dad split up. I remember being so poor, we rented a house from the church, which is where the LDS Stake Center is now. Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I remember it had a dirt floor cellar that my older brother and sister convinced me had a witch's cauldron where the furnace was and scared the crap out of me. I remember being 6 years old, being pissed off about having to pick up brother's Legos. So I walked barefoot in July across town because my aunt lived over by Menanche, and I was like, screw that, I'm going swimming anyway. I was that kid. Yeah. Mom remarried. We ended up in Squaw Valley, and I'll say Squaw Valley even though we're not supposed to say it or whatever. East of Fresno.
Yeah.
Went to Miramonte Elementary School. Not the Miramonte in Clovis, but Miramonte.
Out in the sticks.
3 classroom, K through 6th.
Are you bothered by leg veins of any size? Or is leg swelling or pain bugging you or someone you know? I would recommend that you make an appointment with our friends at Sequoia Vein and Wound to take care of it. With a friendly bilingual staff and their years of experience, they are happy to help resolve those issues. Give them a call to get a consult at 559-713-6478 and tell them that Jay Mac sent you.
Was there for 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. My 5th and 6th grade teacher, Ken Dyke, great mentor, was also the principal. He helped me get my first job at the YMCA as a lifeguard. Wow. Worked summers up there, and we can get into that later. But it was an hour-and-a-half bus ride one way down the mountain. We lived on 5 acres, and then stepdad bought the neighboring 5 acres for his mom. So it took care of all of that. Older brother, 7 years older. So by the time we're there, he's graduating high school and he's gone.
Yeah.
Older sister's screw that. I'm not living in the mountains. She's gone. So it put me there as the older brother as the middle child of my brother that's right underneath me has some learning disabilities, and then baby brother's 10 years younger. So I grew up a country boy. But when we moved up there, I was the city boy.
Because you just came from the city, yeah.
I remember wearing like my body glove, baby yellow and blue coat, my baggy jeans, and my yellow Nikes, and getting beat up every day by all the country kids.
I was going to say, I bet you all those kids were up there were all wearing cowboy hats and boots.
Look, we'll be blunt. The shit kickers didn't like it. The girls liked it, but the guys didn't. But it made me tough. And I remember like 6th grade, I got into a fight, and I was finally like, enough of them were gone, and actually held my own. And I remember Mr. Dyke being like, "Hey, who started it?" And the other guy's like, "Yeah, I started it." I was like, "Yeah, I finished it."
Yeah.
But it was just like, you had to get tough.
Well,
when you grow
100%.
up, when you grow up taking care of property and animals and all these things, like I look at my boys, and I'm like, I can't even get you guys to mow the lawn.
Do you live in Porterville now?
Currently, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I always say this: I saved my wife from Porterville. Real quick, paint us a picture of Porterville when you were growing up. What did life feel like there? Were you East Side or West Side?
So we were East Side. I went to Roach Avenue.
Yeah.
Which is literally like right on Plano. And if you don't know Porterville or East Side Portals,
yes,
as I know it, that's
a rough area.
That's the wrong side of the tracks.
My wife lived right across the street from, well, actually the same street that led into the cemetery.
Yeah,
right there. Okay. So
yeah,
rough area.
The house was right around kind of that area.
Got it.
Back up towards the hill, going back. But no, we were there. One of my aunts lived out by Menanche. Grandma's house is by like where Black Bear Diner is today.
Okay.
My aunt still has the house. That's always been the fallback house. Porterville, just kind of that small town, but kind of family. Everybody knew each other. My Uncle Bob is the retired police captain.
Okay.
So it was one of those, Grandma Helen, she is one of the most decorated officers. She got a Medal of Valor for the city of Porterville.
Wow. Okay.
So growing up, it was one of those, yeah, I get it, you're a kid, but if you screw up in this town, we know everybody.
I was going to say.
So you better not.
You know what's funny about Porterville is when I was in the gang unit, every time I went to Porterville, a couple things happened. I always got into a killer car chase or a killer fight, because obviously a lot of gangs there. Plus you got the foothills. A lot of people cook dope out in those foothills. Mm-hmm. A lot of drugs in that town. What was the very first job you ever had, and what did it teach you about work?
First job ever had was, I remember putting up a little sign on the mailbox up in Sequoia Valley. And it was like, I will muck your pens, clean your chicken coops, cut your fire lines, whatever. I had this Honda 310 or 110.
Little motorcycle?
No, it was a 3-wheeler.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
It was the 110 3-wheeler, and it had like the little trailer on it. And I'd haul all the tools I needed in the back of that thing. And I remember getting like $50 an acre to clear fire lines. And just like at like 12 years old.
Wow.
Because stepdad had money, mom didn't. And so for school clothes and things like that, it was like, hey, if you wanted those silver tab beyond baggy jeans that were like $50, it's like, you better go buy. You're going to buy those your own. So it's those things. And I just remember doing that. I remember doing work for like my Uncle Bob, going out and, Rancho Visalia Duck Club, cleaning duck blinds.
Yeah.
and uncle would be like, hey, here's a little bit. But that was really like the first job was lifeguarding at YMCA Camp Tulakoya, Sequoia Lake.
Okay.
At like 16, which was awesome.
You know what, man? And I mean,
and even
to listen to your story, bro.
But even before that, like I did Boy Scouts. Older brother was an Eagle Scout. So I go up. I did everything but the actual Eagle Scout project. And it always kind of pissed me off because all the guys that had dads around all got theirs. But I've made peace with my dad.
I would say this: Eagle Scout is not easy to get into.
No,
dude.
it's not. It is tough.
It's very tough.
And I always had that little bit of resentment, but it's like, okay, I'm a grown man. I'm over it. But Dad wasn't around much because he was roughneck oil guy.
Okay.
And tough as nails, taught me a lot of things about work and about like, hey, just man up, suck it up, just get it done.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. The world doesn't care.
Yeah.
Hated him for it for a long time, but I respect him for it now. And, Dad is who he is.
Yeah. Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still around. He's a roughneck out in Oklahoma, body's broken down. Yeah. Lives in a trailer park. He is who he is. He's dead. And love him for who he is. And, that's one of those things I think all men, and really everybody, you've got to come to terms with your parents. Because we can sit there and we can blame them for everything, or we can just realize, you know what, for who they were and what they know, they loved us for that. And you can be as pissed off about it as you want and let that define you, or you can accept it and realize, use those bricks to build who you are.
Brother, I tell you something. Our stories, in a lot of ways, are similar because I spent 20 years of my life thinking my dad was a true son of a bitch. And later on in life, I finally got to...
At least he didn't name you Sue.
Yeah. But I finally got to make peace with my dad. I had 10 good years before dementia finally took him. But I will tell you this, man. Those 10 years, brother, were probably the most healing time of my life, where that chip on my shoulder that I had about not having a dad, it disappeared. And dude, it's so funny. I've told other people this. You got to let it go, because guess what? You can't pick your parents, and all you can try to do is do better than next time.
It's that saying of resentment, hate, all of these things. It's poison you're feeding yourself.
Damn right. Damn right.
There's no, it's being mad at somebody else isn't going to harm them.
No.
It's just a waste of your energy.
I totally agree.
And as humans, I'm a very firm, we're just big balls of energy. We really are. And if you're going to burn your energy on that, you're wasting so much of your potential.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Being the middle child in a family of 6.
So,
did it make you tougher or invisible? I mean, that's kind of a weird spot to be in.
Both, man.
Yeah.
My older brother, flat out, he's a badass. Love him to death. Sean, so the breakdown is mom had Sean and Christy. Dad had Valerie. They got together, had me, had my brother Brian. They split up. Dad gets remarried. He's been with the same gal for like 25 years. Mom gets remarried. Baby brother 10 years younger than me. So span is 17 years from her oldest to youngest.
Which one is the West Point grad?
Oldest.
So
Sean goes off. He's older. Always looked up to him. He was, he was the guy that was there. Eagle Scout, all these great things. Goes off to Embry-Riddle, goes to West Point, switches from West Point, goes to Navy, Top Gun, all these things. Love my big brother, tough as nails, and it's like, thank you for setting the biggest, highest expectations ever.
Big time, dude.
Thank God I'm taller than you and slightly better looking.
I would say this. Anybody who graduates the service academy, civilians don't
Oh, they have no idea. No idea.
They don't. And I will tell you this for the folks at home. To even get into a service academy, you got to have 2 congressmen that even recommend you. And just the admissions, so many people get their souls crushed because they get turned away. And I will tell you this, anybody, we used to call them ring knockers. Remember in the military, you'd see the guys walking around with their rings from their service academies. But I will tell you something, when you get around these people, you really realize they are a cut above. And I respected a lot of those academy
They
grads,
change your
man.
DNA.
Big time. And I used to tell people, it's like civilians don't realize the prestige that comes with that. Now, guys that were in the military, we do. Anytime I've ever met anybody that's graduated one of those academies, I've told every single one of them, I respect that.
Oh, yeah.
It's tough to get in. The academics there are no joke.
So being the middle child, there's a lot of the invisibility.
Yeah.
So older brother, he's doing his thing. Older sister, right? Because my sister Valerie's kind of off with dad, doing her thing. Older sister Christy, she's the Kim Kardashian of the family. She lives out in Vegas now. Her hubby's about ready to retire Vegas PD. Super awesome dude.
Awesome.
But you got big bro, big sis, and then my brother right underneath me had his learning disabilities. So they'd get a lot of attention. What's Sean doing? What's Christy doing? What's Brian doing? Then you had baby brother. And so for me, it was like, how do I fly under the radar?
Yeah.
How do I stay, all I got told growing up was like, you better graduate high school and you better not screw up and get arrested.
Yeah.
That was it. And this is one of those family things. I think a lot of people talk family dynamics. I think it's actually very vital and important. And I just yesterday, before Super Bowl kicks off, I'm talking to my 16-year-old son's there, and it's Uncle Bob's there, and he's a retired police captain. And we're kind of chirping on him, and it's like, hey, what are you thinking? Trades? Are you thinking this? Are you thinking? And I'm like, you need to learn economics, learn finance, because once you learn how money works and how to make it work for you, your life will be better. I don't care what else you do. I wish I knew the things about money that I know now back when I was his age. But when I was that age, nobody talked to me about college.
Me neither. Brother.
Nobody talked to me about any of that. But it's a generational thing. And I've had these talks with my aunties and with mom. And if you go back and you look, my grandma didn't graduate high school. She went back and got her stuff later, because back then it was you're going to school so you can find a good husband.
Yeah.
And then for my aunties and my mom, it was, well, you better graduate high school so you can get a good husband.
Yeah.
And mom's gone off and she got her teaching credential and got her master's and other stuff. But that was like after, baby brother was graduating high school. I mean, that was later in life. My generation, it was like, we grew up, older brother watching Top Gun, all of that. That was his trajectory. For me, it was my senior year of high school, hanging out in Porterville, grandma's for Christmas. And grandma's like, and I was a total grandma's boy. I love my grandma. She's like, well, what are you going to do after high school? You're going to go to college like your brother? What are you doing? First time anybody had ever really asked me about college. And I was like, I don't know. I guess I'll go to college. And my mom's like, well, you better figure out a way to pay for it. I might be able to help you out with books or something. And mom's always been great. She's always done her best to help all of her kids out with everything. But it was really like, I had no idea. Because I had spent, my early teen years going to Boy Scout summer camp, Camp Chawanakee, and then getting invited to stay up there and lifeguard and do, all the merit badges and stuff like that.
Were you a good student in high school?
No.
Me neither was I.
I was I made a bet one time with a girl in English class that she would go on a date with me if I got a better grade than her, just to prove to her that I could.
Yeah.
And I won't say who, but I was that kid. I was the skater punk, chain wallet,
My God,
baggy
so was
jeans. My best friend from high school, Rory Huerta. We met sophomore year. He had just moved to Reedley from San Jose. And I was hanging out with his older cousin and some other guys. And we walk up. And it was like the scene from Step Brothers. And I've got my backpack and my baggies and my skateboard. He's got his skateboard. We're probably the only guys at Reedley High.
Yeah.
With skateboards. And here we are head to head. And it's like, did we just become best friends?
Yeah.
Which, I don't care. We ditched school that day. I think we went and stole like a bottle of alcohol from a convenience store and just skateboarded all day. And, yeah. Stupid stuff.
Dude, I ate, slept, lived, breathed skateboarding for years.
That was like sophomore year. So fast forward to the history with Huerta. Senior year, we're back to grandma, right? Senior year. What are you going to do for college? Well, crap, I don't know. So go back the final semester. Rory, a bunch of the other friends, everybody's National Guard recruiters are there picking everybody up.
Oh, I can see where this is going.
This is 2001. So it's kind of like that scene from Starship Troopers.
Oh yeah.
but the war hadn't started, right?
Yeah.
And so a bunch of us, we go out to Camp Roberts on one of these like National Guard, take you out, check it out kind of things. And we're playing laser tag with the Miles gear, rucking around, all of these things. And I mean, I'd already lived like the, hey, let's party like a rock star.
Yeah, me too, bro.
Because, lifeguarding.
Oh, yeah.
So the summer going into my senior year, YMCA goes, hey, we can't hire you as the official waterfront director for the YMCA skateboard camp because you're not 18. But you're gonna be a very high paid lifeguard.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait, I'm gonna run lifeguarding for the skateboard camp, and I'd already been the skater. So, dude, I learned how to drop in from Andy McDonald. No bullshit. So those of you who don't know who Andy McDonald is,
very, very popular professional.
You had Tony Hawk.
Yeah, he was right there with him.
Andy McDonald was the number 2 guy whose sole purpose was to try to beat Tony.
Yeah.
Learn how to drop in a skateboard with him. Not super close, but I mean, he gave me enough time of day because of the, that.
And I would tell you this, for the folks at home, learning how to drop in is not as easy as what it looks, folks. Put your tail on this coping and you look down and it looks like you're getting ready to drop into something that's 10 feet. And if you don't do it properly, I've seen people get knocked out.
Have you ever had a masonite burn?
Oh, big time, big time. And so what I tell people is this, to learn how to drop in is that's like a big thing.
Oh, you got to fully commit.
Yeah, because when you go, if you don't do it right, I see people either go too far forward or too far back. I've seen people get knocked out. I've seen people knock teeth out. Mm-hmm. I've seen all sorts of stuff. So, and it's a really big thing because it's a level in skateboarding that separates.
The half pipe at skate camp.
So we did with like Bobby G, because like he was the guy that was kind of.
So the director, I just remember the director, we called him Pearl.
Okay.
And so we were up there, and gosh, what was that? Summer of 2000.
Okay.
And skating vert, I remember Mike Vallely.
Oh, yeah. Another very popular pro.
Mike was up there. I think he had his daughter with him. I got to take him sailboating.
Yeah.
Not that he remembers who the hell I am, right? But I remember.
Yeah.
Thought it was the coolest thing.
Plus, with Vallely was cool in this because when people mess with skaters, Vallely was tough.
Oh,
You didn't
yeah.
mess with Vallely. Vallely would kick your ass.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember when his first board came out. Remember the one with the elephant on it, right? In fact, I still have one. Dude, when that came out, dude, that was the biggest. Like his part in Ban This, dude, was like,
Oh, dude, no.
dude, when that came out, that was-
I think my first deck was like an Alienware with Spitfire wheels, Bones bearings,
Oh, yeah.
Thunder trucks,
oh yeah.
and
I was a big Lance Mountain dude. I owned like 8 of those boards.
yeah, you know, and it's not that I was ever like any good. Like I could still never kickflip to save my life, but
There was a time I was pretty good.
I had a lot of fun. I could hit some rails, and
yeah.
you know, to me, it was always more about having fun, not trying to be like, oh, I can do whatever.
I tell you what, we had fun, but we were very competitive.
Oh, yeah.
And like
Well,
overly
amongst
good.
each other.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
Well, and I remember even like there's that little point in the 90s where like rollerblading was cool for like a minute.
Yeah.
So it was like I tried that and I was like, this is way too easy.
yeah,
And I'm tired of these things being stuck to my feet.
yeah,
And with the skateboard, because I'd always get in trouble, but like just enough under the radar where like not too much. It was a lot easier to fight with a skateboard.
Oh,
than
yeah,
with
dude.
rollerblades.
Skateboard's a good, great weapon, dude.
I'll just leave it at that.
Well, I got a million questions. So, all right.
But so military, all of us end up joining National Guard. We all ship out summer 2001, and that was it. And I remember I worked at Wildwater Adventures right before. It was like, all right, let's go have some fun. Let's lifeguard. Let's party it up. We're going to basic training. And then I wanted to go get it done as quick as possible because I was like, I want to rip the Band-Aid off. I want to get this done. Everybody else went at the end of summer, which was cool because when we all got done with basic, I had a higher rank. I got promoted up before. all my friends. But no, it was a basic training. Like you said, Fort Sill, Oklahoma, 9/11 happened. Right.
Well, hang on. I got a million questions that's going to get us there. Okay. Yeah. Because who was the first adult that saw something in you before nobody else saw it?
Oh, gosh. Outside of family?
Yeah.
Hey, you know, because I think grandma and the aunts and everybody always, you know, kind of something. Probably Mr. Dyke.
Okay, that's cool.
The 5th, 6th grade teacher, principal. I actually invited him out to my retirement party.
Yeah, that's cool, dude.
You know, because I think for our 6th grade class, I think there might have been like 8 of us
Yeah.
from that school.
Dude, and I'm going to tell you this, just leapfrogging when I think about all that you've accomplished from coming from there. I think my story is great. Dude, you're on a whole other level. I will tell you this. There's not many people that I look up to. I can tell you this. You are somebody I look up to. What rule in your house shaped you the most?
What rule in my house
yeah.
shaped me the most? Gosh, I don't know, man, because I was probably the rule breaker. I was the troublemaker. I was the one, like high school, I was the one that was still in the cars.
Oh, wow. See, man, you know what? Our stories are so similar, but I can tell you this. Like for me, my mom's rule was this. You're the man of the house. I was the man of the house at 13 years old. And so my mom was like, we were dirt poor, didn't have a car, all that shit. So my mom was like, hey, listen. She's like, don't do nothing that's going to cost me no fucking money. I mean, she would literally tell me that.
That was the thing, right? It was look, don't do anything to embarrass the family.
Yeah.
It was, like I said earlier, it was like, look, your job is to graduate high school and not screw up. Especially don't do it in Porterville because it's going to be a problem for all the family.
Yeah, because everybody knew everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I think for me, though, like looking back, like my mom, right? We have these talks. And I think everybody in the family gives my mom a bunch of crap because mom was the flower child, hippie chick. And Mom, I know you're probably listening to this, so I love you, and you've done a lot.
Yeah,
it's that resilience.
Yeah,
it's you can figure it out, and you can overcome, and you can do anything.
Yeah, I'm right.
And don't let anybody tell you that you can't.
I live by that.
That's kind of, I think, one of those things where people that come from gritty backgrounds, you either let that gritty, what's the saying? It's the villain and the hero have the same backstory.
Yes, they do.
But it's what they chose to do with it.
I tell you something, bro. Mine, man, we're here. Think about this. Two guys sitting here, come from nothing. Both have master's degrees. Both served. Both did all these things, and we come from nothing, bro. And I think that puts that.
But Jason, think about this. Let's put the pinnacle on it. We're sitting in Visalia, California.
Yeah.
Southern San Joaquin Valley. Demographically. Let's put it in the street. We are two white boys from nothing. Statistically, we have an 80% chance of being crackheads living down by the river. Okay.
Isn't that the truth?
We are both prior military.
Yes.
We both have master's degrees. In the whole San Joaquin Valley of California, Sacramento, Bakersfield out to Paso, only 2% of the population have a master's degree or higher.
Yeah.
How many of those 2% have been through what we've been through? Even just with the military,
I would probably say not many, brother.
Background.
Not many. It's going to be very small. I can tell you this, man.
And it's wild. Like when you start breaking down the statistics, it's like, yeah, if I would have stayed east side Porterville, where would I have been?
Yeah.
Right. If I didn't go into the military, where would I have been? Because you probably had the same. When I remember coming back from basic, I was like 19, 9/11 had happened, and I know you'll get into this, but it was like we knew we were going to go to war.
Oh, yeah.
None of us
changed the whole world,
none of us thought we were going to live to 25, so we partied like rock stars because we didn't care. Because we knew we were going to go to war. But I remember coming back, and it was like all the same dudes from high school were doing the same stupid crap.
Dude.
And in every deployment I came back, there was still same guys working the same jobs, complaining about the same crap. Still. And it was like, and then they'd give you shit. Oh, well, you've changed. Well, yeah, I did, and you haven't.
Brother, you could write my story right now, dude. That's so true.
But it's so mind-blowing because what happens, and you see this on all like the motivation podcast stuff, those same people you grow up with, they talk shit when you do better than they are.
Big time.
Because you're disciplining yourself, because you're making a commitment, because you're like, I'm not going to live like this for the rest of my life. Screw that. Because I know if I just try a little bit harder, if I work a little bit harder, like, yeah, it's going to suck. And yeah, maybe I'm not going to party, and maybe I'm not going to get the girlfriend, or maybe I'm not going to get whatever, but if I just sacrifice a little bit more, I can get the next thing.
Damn right.
And the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. And it's just, it was no sacrifice, no victory.
I totally agree.
But it's just, it's so easy in a society of this crap.
No, I totally agree.
Just to plug in and you don't care.
I would tell you something, man. You are so right. And I remember when I came back, all my buddies, in fact, now they were getting into methamphetamine and they were getting into all this other dumb shit. And I remember going, and I joined the military to get away from poverty because I just got tired of living in these shitty neighborhoods, having nothing. And I was like, I got to try something, because I think there's certain people that join for, yes, patriotism. I mean, I'm very patriotic, but there's a lot of us that are like, I gotta
Jason,
get
this
out.
is where I can give you crap, man, because I know you didn't grow up playing Navy.
Yeah, I did not.
You grew up playing Army.
I did. You know what? I probably should have went Marine.
But what's funny is I probably should have gone Coast Guard, right? I played water polo. I did swimming. I remember making Valley for 100 fly.
Yeah, you could have been like a rescue swimmer, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like that would have been awesome. And I remember when that movie came out, it was a Guardian or whatever.
Oh yeah, with Costner.
Yeah, I was like, dude, that should have been me. I didn't even know back then Coast Guard doesn't have recruiters.
I did not know that either.
Yeah.
Wow.
They don't have recruiters.
Yeah.
National Guard dude was there. Hey, man, you want to mud bog Humvees and get paid and laid? We were in.
It's so funny, man. I was going to
80. I think we had like a fat sign bonus. And it was Army transportation, right? So we're going to mud bog Humvees, bro.
Yeah.
Like we were running river bottom down in Reedley.
Yeah.
Getting chased by the deputies.
Yeah, is 11 Bravo? Is that the ground pounders?
Yeah, 11 Bravo was the infantry guys.
Yeah.
So I signed 88 Mike because it was like a very short time gone.
Yeah,
right. Because this is National Guard, and his older brother's West Point grad, had flown out to the point. All of that, grew up with all the patriotism. Uncle Bob was a Navy guy. Big bro. I've got, all my ancestors. Every man in the family line that was worth a shit.
Yeah.
Was military.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I don't know if you think this, but I think I went in a boy and came out a man.
It's, I tell a lot of guys this, and I preface this in through public life. Anytime I see graduation or anything like that, I always tell everybody, I go, remember how you feel in this moment, because life is a struggle.
Yeah, right.
And it's gonna tear you up, and you're gonna have times where your legs are gonna get kicked out from under you. But I want you to remember how you feel now in this moment, because you're gonna need that.
Yeah.
And so when you graduate just basic, especially after 9/11.
Oh, yeah, dude.
You are ready to go to war.
Yeah. I would tell you something.
You're just mentally, you're dialed in and you are ready.
I would tell you this about 9/11. I'll never forget this, dude. I worked graveyard patrol that night for Visalia PD. I come home. And, after working a crazy shift, man, I decided to watch TV, right? Just to kind of relax, and I'm drinking a beer. The first tower had been hit. Now, I thought, how did some dipshit fly into one of those huge towers? Everyone thought it was, that first one, everyone thought it was an accident, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, dude, that second plane hit. When that second plane hit, I remember chills went down my back. I went and woke my wife up, and I said, we are under attack. And when we went to work that day, hey, man, they put us on tactical alert. It was a big deal. It changed the world, bro.
Oh, yeah.
And I will tell you this, to be in the military during that time, that had to be an intense thing, because I don't care what you did in the military, it was going to change life as we knew it.
So basic training, right? They got you down, right? You're doing the push-ups or whatever, and you're just pushing.
Yeah.
And it's usually like, hey, you're a shitbag, you're whatever.
Yeah.
Ours changed to going to war. You're not motivated. You're gonna die. Like in our drill sergeants, we're all Gulf War vets.
Yeah. I can see that.
So we started running bayonet courses with e-tools. We dialed in.
Yeah.
And so we were that day, we were on the way to go shoot, what is it, the AT-4, the rocket.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, but they got like the 9mm round. So we missed that day because we were ruck marching out to it. Drill sergeants, walkie-talkies, go nuts. We thought it was one of the little FF games. Like they're messing with us, right? Because they'd always mess with you, right? It's you're going and then they're like, you know, contact right, boom, go. I mean, think about this. You walk into a bar or a restaurant or anywhere tonight and you say contact right.
Oh, yeah.
How many people know what that means?
Very little. Me and you already know. You just go. You're like, you know.
And so you're used to them messing with you. But then the stuff starts rolling. You hear horns in the distance. You hear alarm. You're like, what the hell's going on? Like, I know we're on our way. You know, we're finally past the stage, right? Because the first like trimester of basic is you're just a shitbag.
Yeah,
and then you get to the point where you're guns and you're going to the range. So you've kind of graduated up. You know, hey, we trust you with firearms now. And then you start doing that stuff, and then you get past that, and then you go to your field training exercise stuff, and then you're done.
Yeah.
And so we're right in the middle of that like second trimester phase where they're starting to trust you. You're building up. You've already qualified with the rifle. You're dialed in. You're ready to go. That's when it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we went back. They got us back to the nearest star cluster, had us all hunkered down. And then we finally get back, and we're getting to watch clips of the news.
Oh, yeah.
Like you said, and you're just like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting attacked. We, you know, because we're in the military, so you're getting different bits and pieces, right? And these are Gulf War hardened drill sergeants. So they already know what's up.
Yeah.
They already know all this inside stuff that's going on. And so we got to call home, you know, and then everybody's like, are you deploying straight from basic? All of this stuff, you know, so you just know. You're like, we're going.
Yeah.
And we're at Fort Sill, home of the field artillery. And you start seeing all these artillery units shift into the DCUs.
Oh, yeah.
And they're literally graduating and the next day getting on the plane to go overseas.
For the folks at home, DCU, that's the digital camouflage stuff.
DCU is the desert.
Oh, the desert. Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah. I'm tans.
I'm one of the last generation to go to basic training when you shined your boots.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, because then they went to the tan ones.
So so we went from BDUs to desert combat uniform DCU, and then the ACUs was a little bit later. And but no, man, we knew.
Yeah.
And then came back home, and I actually came back home, ended up moving back down to Porterville to help Grandma out. And then Grandma's like, well, you better start college.
Did you have to, were you like drilling back then?
Yeah, so it was like the 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year.
Yeah.
But everything was all prep. Everything, you know, it's so we go and I'm drilling for like a year, and it's all these whispers, all this talk. And
yeah, I'm sure they were like, get ready for the big mission. The big mish.
And so I end up at Porterville College. I'm there for about a month, just long enough to get a cute girlfriend.
Yeah.
And we had done the 2-week training. What was interesting is we did 2-week trainings that year. We did one in the summer, and then we did one like over Christmas break. And the one we did over Christmas break was we were up at Camp Parks, which was different because usually the guard trains at Camp Roberts, but no, we're at Parks. And I remember I was training all the mop gear stuff and decontamination. I was at E4.
Yeah.
Right? E4 Mafia. Like me and my buddies were the godfathers of the E4 Mafia back in the day.
And for the folks that don't, mop, that is the stuff that you would wear for nuclear, that, you know, biological. Yeah. Yes. And it is
a heavyweight charcoal-based suit. It's just heavy.
Well, also too, remember that hose on the back that would help you breathe? A lot of people would sling their weapon over it, cut
And
that,
pinch it.
yeah, cut the hose, and now they can't breathe.
So I remember training decontamination, training transportation, because we had to learn how to decontaminate not just ourselves,
Yeah,
but all of our equipment. Because remember, Saddam's thing was the mustard gas,
yeah.
and so they were. And this is,
What were they using? What chemical did they use to decontaminate?
Well, remember they used mustard. Iran war, they were using mustard gas.
Yeah.
Mustard gas. How do I explain mustard gas? Think of like the worst pepper spray,
Yeah.
bear spray you can imagine, but it'll make your skin boil, like blister and boil and pus where the skin falls off the body.
Horrible.
The military, Uncle Sam, and in their ultimate wisdom, I remember watching videos, and I think this was to help us to maybe look at the Iraqis as the enemy, to what do they call it? Desensitize.
Oh, yeah.
I remember having to watch videos of Saddam torturing
Oh, my God.
his people and watching videos of them using mustard gas
Yeah, on his own people.
on women and children.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen horror films. You've seen all of these things. Quentin Tarantino, Rob Zombie, all these things. They do a great job, but like
Real life is
When
is
you
always
know that's
way more hardcore.
and so it's a lot.
It is a lot.
And they train you for that because you've got to know what that can look like, not just for you, but for your soldiers, for your buddies.
People bitched even to put those mops on, and so once you show a video like that, people are going to be like, "All right, we'll put this shit on." You know what I mean? Yeah.
And so it's a lot.
It is, and you know
so,
what? And the sad part is, bro, we both have experienced so much things that lead to PTSD because we see the worst in humanity.
Yeah.
And you know, I've told a lot of hardcore stories on this show, but I tell people this, man, it's like you can watch it on TV, you can read about it in a book, but man, when you're there and you're watching this shit,
there are like 2 tours in Iraq. Okay. It's a lot funner to tell the badass story of the guy that turned 21 in Iraq on his first deployment. I was a Mark 19 gunner. If you don't know what a Mark 19 is, look it up.
Yeah.
40
big ass machine gun on the top of a fucking
grenade launcher.
Yeah.
40 millimeter grenade launcher.
Thump, thump, thump.
2,212 rounds a minute.
Yeah.
Or no, range. Range is 2,212 meters, which is 1.25 miles. 300 something rounds a minute. I'm tired and it's been a long. We're out here early, folks.
Yeah, we are.
Kill radius is 15 meters. Shrapnel radius is 35.
Jesus.
1 round in this room, we are toast.
Oh yeah.
1 round.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We had our company commander had done worked some, and we worked a deal. We all call it drug deals, right, in the military, but he worked some deal. We ended up with 9mm Berettas.
Oh yeah.
the only guys walking around Iraq with 9mm Berettas were special ops guys or officers.
Plus, those 9mm Berettas were heavy as shit.
But
we used to call them boat anchors.
But, well, what most civilians don't know is that Saddam's guard also carried 9mm Berettas, and that the Iraqi people were scared to death of them because they knew that the 9mm meant up close and personal, and it was a bad thing.
Yeah.
So the crazy part is, here we are, 2003. Our team was part of the first resupply push of the war. We are doing convoy QRF and route reconnaissance. So what is convoy QRF? That's quick reaction force.
Quick reaction force.
So what are we doing? You've got convoys. Do your homework. Go watch Smokey and the Bandit. Watch some Mad Max. We all think we're living a mix of that. We're out there on the highways of Iraq, going from base to base, hauling supplies. But there's different choke points along the way. Just like traffic today, right? If you're going to work, this intersection at this time of day is gonna suck.
Yeah.
This intersection's gonna suck. Well, same thing in combat. This intersection's a choke point. The traffic's gonna suck. It's gonna be congested. But go beyond that. You also know there's high points in buildings.
Yeah.
Right?
Snipers. Yes. Yeah.
Go watch your Star Wars. Always take the high ground.
Yeah.
You're in a truck, cargo truck, semi truck. At this time, we're in Humvees. No armor. We welded running boards on our Humvees, so we look like LERPs.
Yeah.
Which are the long-range patrol guys. We've got our driver in the front seat has a saw, squad automatic weapon. Yeah. So it's like the belt-fed M16 on steroids. He's got the radio. We got a guy in the back seat of the Humvee with another saw. And then we've got a guy in the bed with a post mount, big post, crew-served weapon, Mark 19 or a 50 cal. Each team, 2 Humvees, 6 people. One had a 50, one had a Mark.
Yeah.
And we all had 9mm strapped.
Those 50s will do some damage, I'll tell you that.
And so that's how we rolled. But what we would do is we were light and we had a lot of firepower. So we would go screaming, cutting around traffic, and we'd go up to all these choke points. And we'd set up on the overpass. We'd set up in the area, and we'd literally try to pick the fight for them to engage us. And we'd be a few minutes ahead of the convoy because we knew the convoy would come. We knew they had their gun trucks. We knew here's more crew-served weapons that are coming in. They're going to be a minute behind us. So we would try to engage the enemy. We would talk so much crap in Arabic. Trying to get them to engage with us.
Let me ask you this. The stuff you guys are transporting, is it important that it needed to be transported? Because I've heard mixed reviews on that.
For the QRF teams, the stuff we got sent on, yes.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I remember doing a convoy. We had like 6 PLSs that had like C4.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Like,
because I saw.
do
you see those Navy SEALs
but that was like one of the craziest briefings ever because it was literally like, so if this goes up,
oh yeah,
we're all just dead.
I was going to say because it's going to go boom, boom, boom,
and so I think everybody was fighting. It was like I either want to be the front truck or the rear truck because I want to be far enough away from this where if it goes off, I remember that day. And I don't remember, and this wasn't one of the things in my military write-up, but we went through Babylon. And the coolest thing about Iraq is all the biblical
you're getting to see the stuff that you've read about.
Like I remember, what is it, like the Ziggurat of Abraham, where Abraham's the father of Christianity, father of Muslim, everything goes back to the Abraham. this is how dumb it was. And this is somewhat disrespectful looking back at it. But we didn't know what it was. We just knew, hey, we've been on the road. It's dark. It's a sandstorm. I finally have something I can sit on and rest on. Yeah, I said warning, don't go here, whatever. But, I mean, we're all pulled up right there because you can't see anything. You don't know what it is. I smoked a cigarette sitting on the side of the cigarette of Abraham.
Yeah.
Like, stupid shit.
Yeah.
Didn't know. Got chewed out and got told to leave and go somewhere else. But, like, that was literally, like, one of our first nights into Iraq was pulling up and sleeping and pulling watch out there. But, dude, we did these convoy teams. Got to go through Babylon. Got to go through all these different spots. And we thought we were, like, super badass. But back to the human side of it. I remember seeing Iraqi kids, dude, no clothes.
Oh, I know.
No shoes. The smells, like the smell of like burning diesel and rubber, that gritty dirt. Like, you know, it kills me because people are always like, hey, dude, where do you want to go eat? And I'm like, bro, I've ate MREs out of the dirt.
Yeah.
Like food is food.
Yeah, it's you start to look at it, it's just fuel is what it is.
Like are there certain things I like if you tell me you want to go grab a filet and some fries and a Coke, I'm in.
Yeah, me too.
But it's just like you've seen these things and these smells and they never leave you.
Oh yeah.
And it's all this sensory perception stuff, right? And so that was first deployment. First deployment, I come home on leave. I'd actually given up my leave spot for another guy so he'd go home and see his wife. So command rewards me. I get to go to Qatar.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fun in Qatar because I went with one of my lieutenants, and I won't say which one, but I got to stay with the officers' quarters.
Yeah, so which is way nicer than enlisted.
So I got to play lieutenant for a couple of days and have a little bit of fun, and I'll leave it at that. And go back. And
let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Your time there, what part of that first deployment, what part of that hit you the hardest?
It's...
I'm sure you're seeing a lot of death. That's got to be hard to be around.
There's a few spots. I think I look at a lot of it. Like you see in the movie Tombstone. I try to explain this to people. Yeah. Towards the end, where Wyatt Earp's just going ape shit, and it's like a hell of gunfire. It was that all day, every day, man.
Yeah.
I mean, just about like when we were in the thick of the deployment, when we were doing the teams, and I love doing the QRF teams. I mean, I went as far north as Mosul. We went out to Al-Assad. I mean, we had to go pick up dudes off the Syrian border because they were doing stupid shit in a truck they shouldn't have been doing, and they ended up following the wrong convoy, so we had to go pick them up off the tank line. Me and Huerta were on the team that reconned the back route from Al-Assad over the dam up to Camp Spiker and Taji. So if you don't know where, or not Taji, Tikrit. So Al-Assad to Tikrit, there's this big dam, looks like a huge ocean out there. Oil fills all of this. Huerta's truck hits a landmine. He blows up. I'm freaking out. I was like, tail truck. Somehow they were up front. He's in a like a deuce and a half LMTB thing. He's driving, the other guy's a 50 gunner. Axle's blown way out, all of this. We rush up there. I remember looking for him. Can't find him. Find the axle, and everybody's yelling, because it's a landfill. I'm like, I don't give a shit. That's my boy.
Yeah.
And I'm ripping the truck apart, looking through stuff. Can't find him. I'm like, holy fuck, where's my boy? Like, this is my best friend.
Yeah.
and can't find him. I'm freaking out. I turn around. I'm walking back. Huerta's sitting on like the little curb thing in the middle of the road, smoking a cigarette. His eyes are freaking huge.
Wow.
He's like, "Did you see that shit?" And I'm like, "Yeah," because we were at the end. And I mean, Convoy stretched like a mile.
Yeah.
And you just see the boom off to the side. You see the smoke go up like you see in the movies. You don't know who got hit. Radios are crap, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And you get up there. And I remember that. I remember.
Well, thank God he lived.
I remember the day that I started smoking. Like, you know, I'd smoked like high school parties and stupid stuff, like a cigarette here and there. But it was another time I was with Huerta. And I know technically we didn't have prisoners of war, but we were doing like a prisoner transfer thing. And we're in this 5-ton cargo truck. We've got an MP guy in the back with, I guess, the prisoners or the people we're transporting. And him and I are in the front. And somehow we ended up on this mission. We had to go all the way down by the border. We're moving these guys different spots. We're going through Baghdad. And anybody that's gone through Baghdad or pulled the pictures, there's these big, huge, like skyscraper overpasses that are going over like the Tigris and the Euphrates. We're up on one of those. We're going. He falls asleep. I fall asleep. All of a sudden, we hit the guardrail. Oh, wake up, wake up, wake up. Oh, shit. Like, we're up there. I mean, it's hundreds of feet down. And he's like, dude, wake up. So I was like, all right, grab some water, trying to wake up. And it's, I mean, we talk about triple-digit heat here in the valley.
Oh, no, that heat there, 120-ish. Yeah.
Hottest I ever saw was like 151 in the chow hall in Kuwait. Granted, they had the thermostat like over the kitchen, so it's probably the heat from the kitchen too. But I mean, 150 degrees.
Oh, that's god-awful.
And so we go, and he's like, dude, just smoke a cigarette, dude, just wake up. And I'm like, no, I don't want to start that out here. A couple minutes later, hit it again. Everybody's yelling. I'm like, dude, give me a cigarette.
Yeah.
And I say that because in the military and combat, the saying is stay awake, stay alive.
Yeah. I didn't serve over there, but I have two of my buddies. They got woken up by people that wanted to surrender.
But,
right?
I mean,
and they're lucky they're not dead, man. You know what I mean?
Stay awake, stay alive. And so first deployment was just nuts. I mean, it was.
Let me ask you this. When did you ever think this is bigger than me now?
Dude, basic training.
Yeah,
I mean, it's basic training. 9/11 was definitely, hey, this is a lot bigger. You know, I thank God I had the family that I have.
Yeah.
But we knew it was bigger. But I mean, still a lot of it was like our crew, our guys, our boys. I don't think the realization of how much bigger the world was really sunk in until after all the combat deployments.
Yeah.
I think a little bit. I got back from my first deployment in 2004. I met my first wife when I was home on leave. I'm like, how much of the story do I actually tell publicly? I was partying like a rock star.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. I was 21. She was 17, going to college. It was like, hey, girl, what's up? What do you do? She's like, oh, I go to school. I'm like, all right, Roger, check, game on.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think I was cruising around. This is like Fast and the Furious 2 just came out. I had my stepmom's Eclipse convertible Spider. I thought I was hot shit.
Yeah. Doing Tokyo Drift in it.
Oh, dude. Well, this is number 2, right?
Okay.
So this is, you got the Eclipse convertible. We're out there. It's like let's go to the races. Let's go to all this stupid, all these things we know now. And we're like, these street racers. And it was like we thought we were cool back then. But we partied it up.
Yeah.
And when I was home on leave, my grandpa Mathis died. My dad's dad, guy that bought me my first bike. And I won't share publicly the last conversation that I had with him, but he was telling me a few guy things about the Jeep Wrangler that I had at the time and that I'd have a lot of fun with it. But I've got a picture somewhere, and it's my grandpa, my dad, and me. And I always look at that, and I'm like, well, I guess that's what I'm going to be like midlife and when I'm old.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those crazy nostalgia things. But I met her when I was home on leave. She was the first girl not to Dear John me. Because like you said, on Valentine's Day of 2003, right down here, Acres Armory.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, hey, report in, or get on the buses. And it was like, and that sucked too, because that was like I had just finally had the college girlfriend that I wanted, and it was like, well, there goes that.
Yeah.
And we were gone. Basic training, got Dear John, gone. But no, came back. She had hung out with the family a little bit. And I'm 21. I had a hot blonde that waited for me. I'm like, dude, I want to put a ring on this. I want to put a baby in this. We're young and dumb. Young and dumb. And so I end up working construction with her stepdad, moving in with them. And did that for a little while. Had a couple guys that I partied with. They pulled me over doing construction, flipping houses. I found out table saws are more dangerous than enemy fire.
Dude, I did not know that.
Yeah, so
for the folks at home, he's missing his index.
So here, we'll do the fun thing.
Yeah. He's got to miss an index. Dude, I've talked to you so many times. That is the first. In fact, the whole time we're sitting here.
Yeah.
If you hadn't have said anything, I wouldn't even have picked up on that until you said that.
Talk about life and challenges and struggles. So we get back. California Army National Guard does one of those, because we were like the first guys to go. Any station, anywhere, even if you want to reclass, you get to go do whatever you want. Big Brother's a pilot. I've always thought Apaches were badass.
Yeah, they are.
So I signed up to go to the AVCRAD unit, Aviation Classification Repair Depot. There's only 4 of them military, period. One of them is in Fresno.
You didn't want to fly?
Oh, I did.
Okay.
I wanted to go flight warrant, but I have to reclass first. So just got promoted to E5 at the end of the deployment.
That makes it harder.
Buck sergeant at like 21. So I go there. They're going to send me to the East Coast to reclass, 6-month school. I've got the hot blonde. Hey, we're engaged. She waited around. All of these things are dialed in. I had to get a special waiver because with being a sergeant, you had to get a waiver to go to reclass.
Oh, yeah.
All this paperwork, huge pain in the butt.
Yeah, because by the time you're in E5, they're kind of vested in you.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be a harder turn.
But I wanted to learn the aircraft stuff.
Yeah.
And little known secret, there are AGR jobs that are federal jobs working in the military that really only National Guard guys qualify for. So the trick here is you can get 2 retirements backed up.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
You get your state retirement from the National Guard, and then you get your federal retirement at the same time.
Yeah.
So my goal and my plan was to work there in Fresno, get one of these sweet jobs, get the double retirement stack,
Yeah.
and be set. Work on aircrafts, maybe reclassify and fly. Got all my school dates. Everything.
Yeah.
Dialed in.
I can see where this is going.
I went to drill that weekend. Everything's done. The paperwork's done. We've got our school dates. We've got our plane tickets. Everything. 2 days later.
Oh, yeah. You get that phone call?
No. 2 days later, I'm at the shop. We were working on this house, flipping this house down in Delano. The neighbors kept stealing shit. So they're like, all right, let's get a tool trailer. Well, you got to put shelves in the tool trailer. Well, the inside of the trailers, you've got the inner frame, so it's like a 1/4-inch frame. So we got the shelves, got all this stuff, just blew like couple thousand bucks at Home Depot. I'm back at the shop in like Lindsay, California, out in the boons. And I'm running 1/4-inch plywood through a table saw.
That's when that happened.
2 days after all my dates. Easy day. Just putting the shelves together. Hey, I need the spacer block so I could mount this, to secure the shelves in the back of the trailer. Flip it, run it the other way.
Finger gone.
My fingers flipped over, dangling. All I can think, dude, it hurt.
Oh, I bet it did.
But
And then also you immediately go into shock.
But I was in the shock and the adrenaline mode. And we're out in the boons, and all my training is running through my brain. I'm going, you can only bleed out like this for about 5-10 minutes, maybe 15 max. Like you're bleeding out a lot.
Oh yeah.
So we go, foreman dude like grabs a towel, just like I don't even know how bad it is. I just like know it's wrapped and like blood's dripping out of this towel. And they're like, we got to call an ambulance. And I'm like, and everybody's just scatterbrained, eyes huge. And I'm like, I'm going to freaking die.
Yeah, let's get to the hospital.
Because these guys don't know what the hell they're doing. Contact right, they don't know what to do. And I'm like, get the car, take me to the ER in Porterville, but call them and let them know we're coming. So I start giving command, even though I'm injured and bleeding out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's the training just kicks in.
I was going to say.
You're just wired.
We think different.
And it's like, because I remember like all I wanted to do was just pass out. Because it hurt. Like I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I'm in pain.
Well, plus you're losing a lot of blood.
Yeah. I'm like, I just want to pass out. And then it kicks. You can't.
Yeah.
You now have to take control over this situation. So I get in to Porterville. They stitched the finger kind of back on because it had cut through. You can see kind of the pad on the thumb. And so it cut through here, through the fat part here, and into the knuckle here. I can't bend that one all the way down because of the scar tissue. So I end up in San Francisco at the hand hospital. The fiance is on the helicopter with me.
Oh, wow.
At that point in life, she was trained like LVN. So she ends up there with me. We're in the hospital for like over 2 weeks. They've reattached the hand. I get there and I am on so much morphine, everything's a blur. And I just remember a surgeon being like, do you want to keep it? And I'm like, well, yeah, no shit.
Yeah. So
they do the skin graft thing. They do all their fancy hand surgeon stuff.
And if they can't fix it, nobody can.
It's back on. And I remember there's like a pin. There's 2 pins running in it, but they can only get one of the veins working right. All I can do is kind of wiggle it like this. And then it's a workman's comp problem. which is a mess, and it's like I'm working for my buddy's grandpa's whatever, and then they're doing shady stuff where it's like it's not even the construction company, it's something, and it's like, but I'm young. I don't know. I don't know any of this business.
I know this. The National Guard, they ain't gonna be happy.
So we go through all this. Guards trying, my command's pulling for me. They're like, hey, look, he can sit in a classroom. Just, he's not going to do PT, but just let the guy sit in the classroom and learn this shit.
Yeah.
Like, not that big of a deal. They're not having it. Active duty, definitely not. I mean, it's 15 X-ray. This is the wiring systems that go to helicopters, so when you hit the red button, it goes boom.
Yeah.
Like, integrated stuff. And, back during the recruiting days, the Navy kept trying to recruit me because they wanted to put me in the nukes to work on the nuclear submarine stuff. Because I scored peak on the ASVAB, but it was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And
when I was in nuke dudes, they were sharp.
Yeah.
Well, to transition real fast, I got to tell you something.
So let me finish the hand story.
Yeah.
So long story short, we end up like 10 months in, end up marrying this chick because I'm like, look, she's literally wiping my butt, sticking with me through this, waited for me on the first deployment. I'm like, I got to marry this gal.
Sounds like a good chick.
So sounds like the first ex-wife. So end up doing the workman's comp thing, right? You start asking questions. Well, how much longer is it going to take? How much mobility am I going to get? What is this, what does the future look like?
Yeah.
And they go, you're going to get 50, 60% mobility. It's going to take 2 to 2.5 years.
Oh, geez.
And I'm like, what's that? And they're like, oh, it's this.
Yeah.
You're going to get this. And I'm going, I'm living with the in-laws, making $900 a month with a pregnant wife.
Yeah.
You're telling me I'm going to have a 2-year-old and a hook finger.
Yeah.
With like no prospect. I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
So if you take it off, what does that look like? Nobody can really tell. And
if you hadn't said nothing, I wouldn't even have known.
I throw a mean left hook now. But like 3.5 months later, I'm working for Mervin's. Become department supervisor of home decor.
Okay.
learn about thread counts. Just because it's a higher thread count doesn't mean it's a better sheet. I'll tell you that. Just means you're going to use more energy and more water. So I'm there. Find out, hey, you're battle rostered. So those of you who don't know what battle roster means, it means your name has come up on the list and you're going to redeploy.
Yeah.
There's a cadence, got a letter in the mail, go to war, go to jail.
Yeah.
Basically, you got the letter in the mail.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, you're up.
Yeah, they're not asking. They're telling.
You're up.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, we're going back. And so I end up going back. Second deployment. I get on the bus out of Fresno 1 week before my oldest son's first birthday.
Wow, man. Heavy. Yeah. Yeah.
And we were set up. We were supposed to be a gun truck unit. So I was kind of stoked. I'm like, okay, I've done this. This is what I'm good at. This is what I'm trained. I spent my little bit of time at the AvCrad, but then I would still get the calls. Hey, we want you to go train this unit. They're getting ready to go. Hey, you'd get the call. Hey, Sergeant, I know you're supposed to do this with us this weekend, but command wants you to go over here, talk to these guys. Okay, Roger, check. We can do that. It was fun, so, especially when you're a buck sergeant, getting the call. They want you to go help train or go do Op 4 or go do something. It was cool stuff. So we're doing that stuff. Other times I'm training guys on the tarmac at Fresno how to drive giant forklifts, those kind of things. But redeploy. We go out to Camp Atterbury, Indiana. We're running the drills, all of that. We get out there and they go, hey, you're no longer doing gun trucks, you're doing long haul. My promotion paperwork gets lost. So I get to watch somebody else get their E6 instead of me. So I went under the guise of I was going to be a convoy commander.
You had to be E6 to do that?
You got to be E6. I was going to be running teams. I was going to get my rocker, finally be a gunny. And didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I end up in Iraq, second deployment. And they go, hey, man, you did convoy QRF. And my first sergeant Hal at the time, Hal became my platoon sergeant on my first deployment when my other platoon sergeant got hurt. And Hal ran QRF too. That's why I wanted to go with Hal, because he knew the teams, he knew the deal, he knew he
it's always good to be around somebody that's dialed in.
Well, I mean, there was trust in this guy.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of us that went with that unit because of him and his leadership. And so end up there and they go, you're going to be lead vehicle commander. I was pissed because lead vehicle commander is bomb bait. There are 60-something trucks in a long haul convoy.
And you're the first one.
And you are the first one.
Yeah.
You are bomb bait. You are the guy looking for the roadside bomb. You are the guy that's going to get hit. Statistically, you are screwed. And I'm going, I didn't sign up for that. I came out here to be a convoy commander, not to be bomb bait. I've got a wife. I've got a kid. No way.
Yeah, they were like, shut the fuck up and get in the truck.
But it was deeper than that.
Yeah.
Because you asked about the moment when you realize, hey, it's bigger than you. And this was one of those moments. It was, hey, Mathis, you led the teams. You know the roads in Iraq. You know how you can draw a picture of these things on the back of a napkin. Nobody can run a sand table better than you can. You know what to do, when to do it, how to do it in your sleep. Not only do we need you to be lead vehicle commander, but we also need you to help train all the lead vehicle commanders and help write the SOPs, because there wasn't really ones at the time.
Yeah. That's a lot of responsibility, bro.
And so we're out there. We're with the Joint Logistical Task Force. In military, right? Everybody's like, well, what unit were you with? And it's like, bro, what unit was I with? Dude, I ran supplies for everybody.
I was going to say, you're probably getting thrown all over the place.
We did so much stuff. It's like my first combat patch was 3rd ACR. Brave Rifles, then it was the Leaning Outhouse 1A1 guys, and then it turned into like the Pepsi, somebody else. And that was just first deployment. Second deployment, we were Joint Logistical Task Force, main bodies, Air John Quaid, picking up the ports, running long haul, freaking everywhere. And then we had a no deadhead rule coming back, because this is like Obama just came into office. Now we're doing the pullout. We're doing all this stupid stuff. Rules of engagement changed. So now we can't shoot back, which is stupid. We got you better armor.
I was going to ask you this, and I saw it, and I'm sure you did too. I saw a lot of incompetence in the military, and a lot of incompetence from leaders in the military. Did you see that?
It's yes and no.
I remember I wasn't in the war, but I remember telling like an E6 one time, I said, you know what I need from you, man? I go, I need you to be a fucking leader. That's what I need from you, dude. Right? And he was like, Jay, why are you talking to me this way? And I was like, dude, you keep fucking up, and you're doing shit that's putting people at danger.
Yeah.
You're doing things that are just, you're not thinking them out. Need a break?
No, we're good. I just got to stretch.
Okay.
So for you guys that don't realize, I have degenerative disc disease through my spine. And when I sit for prolonged periods of time, everything mashes up and it grains and it hurts.
If you need a break, just let me know.
Burns. So yeah. But anyway, where were we? We were talking about leadership. So I end up over there, lead vehicle commander.
Still's an E5?
Still's an E5. Yeah.
So doing the E6 work, just not getting paid for it.
I ended up really great convoy command team. Silent Echo was this dude's call sign. Cornbread boy out of Indiana. And, because during MOB, I was a squad leader. He was a squad leader. We ran MOB together. We ran the platoon together. And when I didn't get my promotion, he grabbed me. I was broke. I was hurt.
Oh.
And because the whole point for me, that deployment was like, I'm going to go. I'm going to command troops. We're going to bring them home. I know what we need to do to bring them home. I'm going to build a nest egg. I'm going to sign a re-up bonus of $80,000.
Yeah.
While I'm there tax free. That was part of it. So there's plans. Look, I'm a Virgo. I plan damn near everything. Drive people nuts, but that's just who I am. That was the plan. Didn't happen. So do all this really crazy lead vehicle commander stuff. Help write the first Army SOP. Get blown up. My second mission out.
Okay, because I got a million things that are going to lead into that.
Okay.
So, because that's a big part of the story. And real fast, I'm a master storyteller.
Okay.
And I tell a story on every episode. So I got to tell this story, and then we're going to jump to when you got blown.
All right.
Okay. I got hired by Tulare PD to go to the academy. Okay. And that, at that time, felt like almost an act of God, because the chief of police and my dad did not like each other.
Oh.
And even though I had nothing to do with my dad, it almost seemed like it was divine intervention that he even gave me the chance, because I was getting paid to go to the academy, brother. And that was
That's a big deal.
It was
That's
a big deal.
Big deal.
Big deal. And so anyways, long story short, I grew up with a guy, and to this day, his nickname is still Little Devil. That's what I call him. And he is like the little brother I never had. We were the same. We were being raised by single mothers. We lived in these bad neighborhoods. We were alike. We skateboarded every day with each other.
Yep.
He was like the little brother I never had. But thinking we are worlds apart. He was stuck in 1985, still living under his mother's roof, still chasing the freedom of that time. Me, I had sworn myself to duty. I just come out of the military. I am dedicated, motivated to become a cop. So, Tulare PD gave me thousands of rounds to go to the academy. Okay, and a lot of them were Black Talons. Remember the Black Talon rounds? And for the people at home, Black Talons were made by Winchester, and they were lethal. And what they were made to do is when they're fired, they come out like it's actually called pedal. It comes out like this, and they are lethal rounds. I had assumed that all police departments were like family. I can laugh at how naive I was, right? Yeah. I was naive. Law enforcement is a crucible by fire. Mm-hmm. It will either do two things. It will either A, break you and destroy you, or two, it will build you up and make you a damn good cop. Me being loyal to a fault, Little Devil asked me for a couple boxes of those Black Talons. I gave these rounds to him because I thought, he'll take them, he'll shoot them at the range, no big deal, and we'll get on down the road. That act of handing him those bullets changed the entire course of my career.
Really?
Just by doing that.
Yep.
Okay. So now I go to the academy. I kick ass in the academy. I am class leader. I graduate number 7. I graduate in a Tulare PD uniform. I am proud, bro. I'm proud. Now I'm in field training. I get dispatched, and I'm assigned to a guy. I'll call him Randy. Randy looked like the Terminator, right?
Yep.
Very good shape, movie star looks. This guy, plus he knew his shit. He was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Me and Randy, over the course of a couple of months together, I really respected him and I really liked him. Anyways, we get dispatched to shots fired at a house. I get about 3 blocks away. They put out a description of a vehicle leaving the scene. We stop this car. Now we do a felony traffic stop, which is, we got multiple vehicles.
Yep.
I'm giving the commands. Driver, step out, throw the keys out, turn around, all this. We get up to the car, and in the passenger side is Little Devil. And Little Devil is drunk. His eyes are wide shut. And now, so the guy that I've protected his whole life is now the guy that I'm sworn to put in jail. Mm-hmm. Okay. So the minute I saw him, I remember my heart already sunk to my stomach. I was like, holy shit. So I tell an officer.
And you got the adrenaline going.
Yeah. And so I tell my partner, switch out. I know this dude. So I get him out of the car and I'm like, where's the fucking gun? And he's like, it's under the seat. Okay, so we get him hooked up. I pass him off. I reach under the seat. I pull the gun out. My heart sinks again. It's the identical weapon that we carry, the Sig Sauer P226. I eject the magazine. And in that magazine was black talons, my black talons, because they had this red dye on the case. And so I tell Little Devil, I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, hey, dude, nobody got shot. I fired a couple rounds into the ground. Okay. So now I tell people, hey, he fucking got these bullets from me, and it turns to shit.
Yep.
Okay. So Randy fucking, interrogates me, which is actually, at the time I didn't know it, but it was actually against my peace officer Bill of Rights. So Randy goes, go gas up the fucking car, and when you come back here, we'll talk. And so I'm like, so I go to the city shop, do that, come back, lieutenant's waiting. Lieutenant calls me in. He's like,
5th degree.
Yeah, he's like, you been hanging out with dope heads, her fucking shooting rounds out in front of a fucking house. He's like,
they don't have the context.
Yeah. He goes, you have put this city at risk and this department at risk. What if they'd have shot somebody with those fucking bullets? And so they immediately put me on admin leave. They take my fucking badge, my gun, everything. Devon, I'm brand new, right? I just started, man. And so I'm like, I fucking go home, and for 2 weeks, man, I'm fucking devastated. So I get a call, got to come meet with the chief. Well, I already knew what was coming. So I resign, fill out my resignation letter. And I come in and I sit down with the chief, and the chief's like, you put my department at risk, Jay. He's like, if this guy had shot somebody with these fucking bullets, he's like, I can't believe you were so fucking reckless. And, who the fuck are you hanging out with these fucking people that are doing this type of shit? And I was like, I love this guy like a brother. I had no clue he was going to do this. I go, but I'm gonna take responsibility. I did give him the bullets. I fucked up, and I was like, Chief, will you let me resign? And he was like, yeah, I'll let you resign. And he let me resign. And so from that night, me and Little Devil didn't talk for 7 years.
Oh yeah.
And when we finally reconnected, our bond obviously was never the same.
Yep.
And but after a while, I finally forgave him, and it took some time, but I finally forgave myself. But what I will tell you, bro, is I learned I wouldn't want to relive those days. at all. But I'm so thankful that it happened, Devon, because guess what, dude? It made me 10 times the cop I would have been. I learned to not have blind trust in people. I learned to think before I act. And years later, once I got to Visalia, it made me, I was always the voice of reason, where I would have to tell other cops, don't do that shit. Don't do it. All right. And I tell that story in this because I owned my mistake and I admitted to what happened. Tulare PD always spoke highly of me, where anytime they did a background investigation. But I look back on those times, bro, and it hurt, man, because I had worked my ass off to go to the academy and to go through all of that and then get to the end and lose my career over some dumb shit. It actually resurrected my career later on, but that story right there in a nutshell is something that to this day has guided my thing. Did you ever have a moment where you thought, I ain't gonna make it home? I'm sure it was the day that you got blown up.
You know, I don't really think so,
Okay.
to be honest.
You know what, dude? I never thought that as a cop. I don't know, man. Maybe that's just our thinking. But
Like first deployment, you know, what do they say? Young, dumb, full of cum, piss and vinegar, like just like just ready to go, right?
Yeah,
You are
yeah.
a adrenaline junkie.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a reason why, you know, as older men, we get to look back and go, you know what, maybe you're right. Maybe our brains aren't fully developed until we're 26. You know, and I joke with my older boys. I'm like, your brain's just not developed yet. You know, but it's like, I don't blame you for being that way, because I was that way too. Thankfully, my boys haven't been as wild as I was.
Yeah.
But I remember my second deployment after I got blown up that first time. And it was, you know, to me, I'm like, oh yeah, it was just a little 155 pothole thing, blew off the axle, blew some glass up in my driver's eye a little bit. No big deal. You know, we fixed the truck, Charlie Mike, which is continue mission. I remember it was like a scene off of like one of those war movies where the dude's on the satellite phone calling home.
Yeah.
So like we're sitting there, they're loading the truck up. This is we are right about forward operating base Kalsu. So if you don't know geographically, Baghdad's up here, Kalsu's down here, and then you've got Scania, which was like the big fuel point, and then like Tallil Air Base, and then basically like the border, right? There's these different little stops.
Gotcha.
Kalsu, you knew once you were getting close, like north of Kalsu is where the shit starts.
I was gonna say, anytime you say FOB, forward operating base, that's
So
yeah.
So Kalsu is Kalsu was a shit show.
Yeah.
But we started spending a lot of time at Kalsu because you would go into Scania, you would refuel. And at Scania, you were rostered on when you were going to leave. And you didn't get much say on it. Command just kind of said, well, you're on the chalk, you're going next, go north. Well, sometimes the roads weren't clear. No route recon, no drone, no. And these are the little things that piss me off going, how freaking hard would it be to send a drone with an infrared camera to go spot some ordnance on the side of the road?
I agree.
And granted, they can run up and they could set up a hasty IED and bug out.
But a lot of it, they would bury them though too. Yeah.
But they would bury it. And the thing, and the reason why I say infrared, and these are things I learned, the heat signature of like C4 of an ordnance. Well, it stays hot. So all the rest of the land, I mean, it could be 100 whatever degrees. That ordnance heat signature is going to be different. And especially when you're running night ops, because they're having us run at night, which you can see us coming miles away.
Yeah.
Same road, same like
truck lights.
Same truck lights.
Yeah.
Every night, same time. And I get it. Get us away from the civilian population. If you're out there past curfew, like all that makes sense from an administrative point of view. But you're putting thousands of trucks down the same road every single night at the same time, at the same intervals, ducks in a row.
Well, Devon, it's like that old adage, man. Take care of your people, man.
And so it was stupid. But we got smart, right? We would always want somebody else to go in front. We called it the meat shield. Or like, you know, like literally, like if you knew and part of my job as the lead vehicle commander was, and we'll just quickly go into the dynamics. So convoy commander, Echo, my buddy Anderson, his job was the whole thing. But mostly his job was the paperwork and all the BS and all the other stuff, dealing with command, all the other, hey, you're going to go here,
logistical bullshit.
You're going to go here. My call sign was hammer, as in like drop the hammer and let's go.
Yeah.
My guys would play like hammer time before convoys.
Okay.
and bust out the dance. And then my other battle buddy, who was the assistant convoy commander, this guy, Robert Perez, grew up east side LA, tough as nails dude. His call sign, Vato Loco. Like he embodies it. He's the Sarge. It was us three, man. And we ran the crew. We ran the Island of Misfit Toys. The guys that got kicked off the other crews because they screwed up or wrecked a truck or whatever, you know, they became the shit bags. And we took the shit bags and we gave them leadership, gave them an ego boost, gave them a responsibility, and got them back engaged.
Got it.
Tons of guys. And the coolest thing about our team, and I'll say this about our unit, it was the 1113th Transportation Unit based out of San Jose. 2632nd was San Bruno. That was my first unit. Our company broke the vehicle miles traveled record for military history.
Really?
We logged more miles than anybody in military history. Our convoy team came in number 3. We weren't the golden boy guys.
Yeah.
And the guys that got number 2 were the devil dog guys in our platoon, which is funny because our platoon got 2 and 3. But no, the guys from first platoon, the golden boy guys, they got all the prime missions and all the stuff. And then Sergeant Quaylar, devil dog, prior Marine. Just my joke on the Marines. So you know what a Marine that joins the Army's called?
What's that?
So Marines are jarheads, right?
Yeah.
Love you guys. I'll get you a box of crayons for Christmas. So a Marine that joins the Army is called a meathead.
Yeah.
You take that empty jar and you put some brains in it.
Yeah.
So they always, hey, meathead.
Yeah.
Quaylar Marine Corps ran his guys ragged. And great dude. Very, very good dude. And he took care of his guys. He's just a hard charger. He's a Marine. We were the goofy Island Misfit Toys crew. And we got guys, we would take them, we would train them up. If they needed a new lead vehicle commander, that poor kid would have to ride it with me, and I'd get them trained up. You know, I saw young guys, and part of it was like, hey, you want to mess with their heads, get them ready. Just I'm probably like a cop on his first night out. Your first couple of patrols, they're going to screw with you.
Big time.
I remember guys getting so nervous. We'd get up, and Scani was kind of that first gate. Like everything south of Scani was pretty safe. But guys would pull up, and they'd get out of the truck, and they'd throw up.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're so nervous.
Yeah, just got your nerves.
Just so nervous, so racked. Because you're trying to teach them all these things. In the lead vehicle truck, this is a 915 A3. Did
you guys start putting those things on the bottom that would take the blast out?
So, God, I wish. No, those were much better. These are Freightliners.
Got it.
Think of a civilian Freightliner, Big Mac truck, 18-wheeler dude going down the highway.
Yeah.
That's the truck. They'd armor it up. Now, back first deployment, you had like the Mad Max armor where we were cutting armor off of whatever, Iraqi tanks, whatever metal we could get our hands on. They would weld stuff up and on the bottoms and that stuff. This is 07, 08. We now have the fancy armor.
Got it.
The applique, I would think most of this stuff's not classified anymore because it's been forever.
Yeah.
But it was like steel with ceramic weaved together, and then on the lead vehicle trucks, there was this gap where it stuck out where you had another layer of armor, and the idea was that whatever the shrapnel would go, it hit that. And then it would melt down on that, and then that would hit the other armor, and it would be just enough to cool it off, to slow it down so it wouldn't go through you. So that was the basic truck. Inside of that truck, you had this big box that had a signal jammer inside of it. So who knows how much radiation we had run through our bodies because we were sitting on top of that thing. You had lights with toggle switches. So like your cop lights where you could spin around and look. We had these halogen bulb lights that were like, I forget how many 1,000-watt candle. Basically, you could see like a quarter mile in front of you.
Yeah.
Like it was the light of day during the middle of the night. We called them God lights. You'd flick them on with a switch and it'd just daylight. The jammers were funny because you'd have, you can remote control those little spinny lights, and you had to go and pull off the remote control thing because if you didn't, once you turned the jammer on, they'd go nuts. But there were so many different things. You had 2 radios in there. You had an internal comms. You had an external comms. You had another tracking device, like little laptop computer thing that you could send messages on. You could tell where other people were at. You could message the people in front of you, behind you, all around. You could talk to like the sheriff elements, which were like, just like a sheriff here.
Yeah.
Hey, this guy's got this territory. They're kind of the military police that are out in that area, or infantry unit or whatever. You could see the artillery guys. You could see all these different guys all over the place, all these maps, all these different systems. We even had a kick-ass time because I was able to get on the secure net from the command centers and was able to get a hold of Big Bro, who was the pilot, who was flying.
Oh, nice.
Whose unit was flying sorties. So we'll just say we were able to get on the same radio station as the squadron.
Yeah, that's cool.
So anytime we'd go out, we just, let's flick over to this channel to see if we can get somebody, get a couple cool pilots.
Yeah.
And there was a couple times they came down and buzzed the highway for us.
Oh, yeah.
Which was...
An 18 doing anything is pretty cool to watch. The day that bomb... What's the last image you have in your mind right before that bomb went off?
So first IED...
the one where you got injured.
Well, they both route you. So I got to rewind to the first one, right, to really tell the story. So first one goes, we had some guys, they were in what looked like Iraqi police SUVs. Looked like they were filming us.
Okay.
Boom. they bug out. They didn't shoot at us, but they got. I know those dudes got video of us.
Yeah.
Speaking of Iraqi PD, so I don't often go into it, but first deployment, a lot of combat, a lot of gunfights. So when people are like, "Hey, did you kill anybody?" or yeah, there was some up close stuff.
I'm sure
There was some stuff where, and we were transportation, so you would put a round in somebody, and then by the time they hit the ground, the convoy was already moving.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you're not doing it like this. You're shooting out of a vehicle.
But there was one where he was about as close as you and I are, and I just got shot RPG out of an alleyway on this side, and fired a couple Mark 19 rounds down there to take care of that. Hear the noise on my left side. And there's like this hedgerow bush. We're just north of, and this is like my ARCOM with Fowler right up. This is in here, I think. And dude comes out of the bushes of the median. And like we had drove into a fire. Like I don't even think they were necessarily shooting at us, but we were getting shot at by both sides. So it's like we drove up into a shit show.
Yeah.
So what are we trying to do? We're trying to suppress the threat and end the chaos.
Yeah.
This guy comes out, Iraqi PD uniform, but he's got his AK and he flashes me and my guys. Without hesitation, I put 2 rounds in him, 9 mil.
Yeah.
Because I'm on the mark, 9 mils here, corner of my eye, dude's AK up at us.
Yeah.
Finger on the trigger, AK up at us.
And here's the problem: for the folks at home, an AK-47, that's a 7.62. It'll go right through your vest.
I don't
anything.
but I don't even think. And this is 03, 04.
Yeah.
We're in the Vietnam.
Yeah, body armor.
Vest.
Yeah.
We don't have the plates. We don't have the fancy stuff yet. We're in the old Vietnam crap. And I just, instinct.
Yeah.
Pop. And like I almost fall out of the Humvee because the driver starts going.
Yeah.
And I just see this guy's eyes get big and I just see him fall.
Yeah. Got to do what you got to do, brother.
And that was it.
Yeah.
And I mean, there was other stuff where you get the kids, you're giving them the M&Ms out of your MRE, and then next thing you know, they're throwing rocks, and then all of a sudden a grenade gets thrown.
Yeah.
Do you shoot the kids? No.
Yeah.
But it messes with your head because you'd also roll up into other areas where there was a firefight or an RPG went off where they shot an RPG at you and it missed, and now a kid's bleeding out.
Yeah.
And you don't get to stop and aid them because you're on your mission is to go.
Yeah.
So you're leaving women, children bleeding, screaming.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to be able to be around kids screaming.
Yeah. I bet.
When I got home.
Oh yeah, bro.
Now we're into second deployment. Second mission out. Iraqi police filming. Because these guys are smart. And I mean, you're fighting the insurgents.
Yeah, but
so
they're trying to pick up stuff, watching how you guys do stuff.
Yep. So that blows the axle. Guy gets hurt. We go into Kalsu. I get this thing called a MACE test. I think it's the MACE test, where they evaluate how bad your concussion is. And I remember calling home, talking to the wife from the satellite phone. I'm like, hey, it's like, hey, babe, what's up? But I'm calling from the sat phone, so it's different, right? She's used to like
landline.
You calling from like the AT&T landline.
Yeah.
thing. So calling from the sat phone, different. Hey, just want to let you know, because this is at this point like Facebook's the thing. These things are new. Social media's changed. It's not like it was in 03, 04 when we were dating, and it was like Yahoo video chat where you could see the video and you text and you'd be like, hey, the guys aren't looking, flash me something. Definitely different. And I'm calling her and I'm telling her, I'm like, hey, if you hear any bullshit, like we got hit, it happens all the time. If you hear any squabble, anybody calls you,
Yeah. I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Just know I'm good. I'm like, you're probably going to get a call. Know that I'm good. I go, tell him to fuck off.
Yeah.
And, you know, she's like, what do you mean? I was like, look, we got hit. I can't tell you where I'm at. We're good. Everybody's fine. I go, these things happen. I go, it was just the truck. No big deal. I was like, look, I'm like, look, babe.
Yeah.
You know, I'm Johnny Roughnecks. I'm Johnny Ringo. Like I'm tough as nails. Like this.
Which one was worse, the first of the explosion or the second one?
Oh, second.
Yeah.
So this is the first one. So the Army, in their ultimate wisdom, and at this point, she's at home. She's going to respiratory therapy school. You know, kid's like a year old, and she turns 21 while I'm gone.
Okay.
And so she gets the call, hey, hubby's effed up, all of this stuff, all of this. Somebody once told me that they even came and told her that I was dead at one time.
Did that second one knock you out? Were you completely unconscious?
We're get there.
Yeah, okay.
We'll get there. So she gets in her head, hubby ain't making it home.
Oh, yeah.
So she starts fooling around and doing other things that I don't know about. And I'm out running missions, and I don't know what's going on. So I come home on leave. Things are weird. But, you know, I'm happy to be home on leave.
Yeah.
Go back, and second roadside bomb. This was April 9th of 08.
Got it.
What happened early April of 08, Al Sadr. Remember Al Sadr, Baghdadi?
Yeah.
Obama made a big deal about this dude.
I do.
This guy came back from into Baghdad. We knew, we had intel he was in Baghdad. Our convoy was coming south. We had this mission to pick up 3 satellites, so I forget. I was told I might be wrong. Some general needed his satellites so he could get back out of country. Our SKU, our clip, our convoy, we were the ones tasked with picking up these freaking satellites. So we end up south. We've got gun trucks that are having issues, and we get intel, hey, Al Sadr's back. They're going to lock everything down. So we're like, you know what? Let's get to the place that's got the best MWR for soldier care, which we had Air Force guys with us. And so the Air Force spot in Baghdad International Airport, BIAP, was the nicest MWR, the nicest chow hall, like
It's so funny you say that.
Xboxes and video games, like probably the safest spot you could freaking be was there. So we're like, if we're going to be on lockdown,
Yeah, we want to be somewhere good.
we want to be somewhere nice where our boys can get a little downtime, get their laundry done, get a little R&R, relax. And so we're like, this is where we're going there. So we literally limp into there. So we got to get this, gun truck fixed. We got to get other stuff fixed. We're getting everything ready to go. You got the staging lanes. You're taking care of. You got third country nationalist guys that you're taking care of, TCNs. You're doing all of that. And then we get the call. Hey, you got to go to FOB Falcon, which is this little tiny forward operating base between BIAP and the Green Zone, Highway 1, Route Irish, the racetrack, the worst stretch of freaking highway there is.
Yep.
And it's only like a couple miles outside the gate. Like it's just right.
A meat grinder.
But yeah, right on the, right in the middle of the meat grinder, right there. And everything's on lock. So we're making the right call. We're calling Baghdad Sheriff. We're calling all these different guys. Hey man, routes are black. Stay in. Air support. There is no air support. Stay in. Everything's black. Everything. What do you guys think you're doing trying to get clearance to go out?
Yeah.
The guys at the gate, what are you doing? We got to go out.
Yeah.
So first night we turn around. Command's pissed. Hey, you guys got to go out. And we're like, no, we don't. And we know. Like because I'm going in, I'm getting the intel reports.
Yeah.
We know it's bad. We know
heavy IEDs.
We know
insurgents.
we know they have massive forces. When we came into Baghdad, engineers are putting up Jersey barriers blocking off the highways.
Yeah.
Like with the cranes, not the little Jersey barriers, the 20-foot giant concrete blocks blocking the highways. So we're like, no, we're staying put. So next time, so we try to plan this mission. We're like, okay, we got to go out there. We know it's dangerous. We don't need to take all 60 trucks. You know, you got like 50 TCN trucks, plus you've got your 6 screens. 12 personnel are yours. You got the 50 guys plus your gun truck crews. And we're like, look, here's the deal. Vato, you stay back with the main body. You guys stay hunkered here. Me and Echo will run out. We only need to send 3 of us. I'll go out. Maintenance guy will go out. Echo will go out. We'll run the gun trucks, and we'll bring the 3 TCNs with the low boys to pick up the satellites. We'll run just us. We'll run out, pick up the satellites, run back. Small clip, like 10 trucks, in and out, get the shit, get back. No big deal. Command says no. You got to take everybody. We want you south as fast as possible. We're like, screw this.
That just tells me bad commanders, bro. Bad commanders.
Well, in our command was fighting for us.
Yeah.
It wasn't our command. It wasn't Hal. It wasn't Master Sergeant Witt. Master Sergeant Witt, who was our truck master, ended up, fast forward, he retires as State Command Sergeant Major of California Army National Guard. One of my good buddies, still talk to him. Major Lovelace, who was our company commander, he was a Mustang, did time during the Gulf. And what a Mustang is a Mustang.
Prior enlisted.
Prior NCO, gone officer. Dude has 2 black belts in like Krav Maga and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Just badass. Made sure all the sergeants got level 2 combatives before we went overseas. Yeah. Super awesome dude. Love that guy. We got to go. So we go out, but I'm the lead vehicle commander. So I get a little bit of say on our routes. So instead of going down the racetrack, there's different points on how you get out of, Sunni Triangle, there's different highways. So I'm like, you know what we're going to do is we're going to go out the west side, right? We're not going to go Highway 1 direct because they're waiting on us. This is bad. And I mean, we're back channeling with Baghdad Sheriff. Like we're getting on like the hardline phones, talking to these dudes, getting all the reports. We know that route is like you go on there, you're going to die.
Yeah.
So we go and we're like, we have to go. We don't have a choice. So we go out the west side, drop down to the triangle, and then cut back up and in the back way. Fob Falcon is so small, you can't even get all 60 trucks inside the gate.
Yeah.
So we've got guys waiting on the outside.
In harm's way.
Yeah. While these satellite things are loaded onto these lowboys. And then, because we knew we had to go south, so instead of going out Highway 1 into Falcon and then south. I'm like, no, we'll go, and then we can kind of recon our own way back. So we do this, we go south, we go back north around Bayat, get in, get the satellites, we're going back down. Well, it's a sandstorm.
Yeah,
Routes are red,
shit.
can't see shit. So you know what we do? We make the call, we say, screw that, we're going back in. We're not going to punch south. There's no recon, there's no nothing. Hey, we got your satellites, but guess what? We're going back into Bayat. We get back into Bayat, we get our asses chewed. You were supposed to go south. Routes were red. All my stuff for a reason to pull back into base and stay safe is there. You haven't reconned the route in 3 days. Sheriff says go in. There's no air support. There's no route recon. There's nothing. You're asking me to go fly blind. With these high-value satellites we just picked up, we're not doing it. We go back in. We get a wake-up call. Echo gets his ass chewed. He's upset. I'm upset. We're trying to, like, how do we tell our guys we got to go south?
Yeah.
I start having this dream of where we were going to get attacked.
Yeah.
And it was like Dawn of the Dead meets, you know, like
And you know what's sad is you can almost feel it when it's coming.
Oh, I saw it. I
Yeah.
literally had, like, you talk about reoccurring dreams.
Yeah. Out of body experience. Yeah.
I knew exactly, like I could paint a picture of what it was going to look like before it happened. And I'm telling these guys, and this had happened before. And it was, we were always able to steer clear of it beforehand. You know, they'd be like, Hammer, why are we taking this route? And I'd be like, bro, just trust.
And you know what the sad part is? I think at that point, a commander should be like, you're seeing this in real time.
Well, our command was good.
Yeah. Well, somebody should have been going, let's listen to Devon.
But
he's
it's
seeing it.
But it's above that.
It is. It is.
I mean, it was above the task force.
Yeah.
And I had proved my weight with the task force because when I first got there, they had these little guidebooks for the lead vehicle commanders, and it was all these grid points. And all the grid points were, it was the X marks the spot, dead center of the overpass. Well, you and I both know.
Probably not, but that's where you don't want to be.
The turnoff
Yeah.
is about a click or two before you get to the center of the overpass. So if you have we don't have GPS.
Yeah.
No, we have a plugger that you're putting the grid coordinates in, these 8-digit grids in. Well, my 8-digit grid is smack dab in the middle of the highway. My turnoff going down the road, you got to turn off for the clover leaf or the whatever, half mile, right? 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, couple clicks. For civilians, you don't know what a click is. A click is a kilometer. This is 1,000 feet, 10 football fields. Well, that's back there. I redid every single one of those books, spent time with the S1 and S2 shop, redoing the entire map books for everybody in theater, upgrading all the grid points because they had taken satellite grid points of the dead center. And it's like, no, if I'm going on this route, and you had different route books. So it's like you have this big binder of all these maps and it had every single little turn and every grid point for every turn of every route in theater. I went through that whole entire thing and redid all the grid points. And I would get my truck. Hey guys, fall back. I'm going to go plot. I'm going to do this. I was always telling, because you were out front and then you had your pace setter guy. And I'm always telling them, hey, bro, drop back. Let me check this out. I'd go boots on ground. Hey, what are you doing going boots on ground? No, you got to check stuff out. I mean, I remember a time I rolled up on an overpass. Iraqi Army guy had the concertina wire pulled out. And it's like, no, we got to go over this. And we knew that it was good. These guys were just doing their thing or whatever. But I'm like, I need this guy to move this concertina wire so I can get these trucks through. And then you're worried, like, hey, are they setting this up? Are they going to blow it up or whatever? Man, I remember going out, grabbing a hold of this guy. We're going to go meet Allah together and had him move the concertina wire with us to make sure we're good. But the routes were jacked. So anyway, we're going southbound out of Baghdad, middle of the night, April 9th of 08. There's a sandstorm. We still got to go.
Yeah.
Like we are to that point of, as the command team, we can't let our soldiers see that we're upset. We can't let them see that we're scared. But we know shit's going to happen.
Yeah, it's coming.
And so we get going. I know there's an Iraqi army hardball little concertina thing where you're going southbound and they make you go into the northbound lane and then back around and do this little, your zigzag. I know it's coming. Hardball crossover, choke point. I also know there's a farmhouse over on this other side. There's a water tower thing over here. There's a stuff over here. The road cuts and dips down, so you're at a low point. They have the high ground on you on both sides.
Yeah. Worst place you want to be.
Right around that point. Know this. So I set us to go southbound in the northbound lane. So we go across Bailey Bridge, which is like this little teeny engineer bridge. You can only do like one truck at a time or the bridge will collapse. So we get over this, we're going south. I've got us southbound in the northbound lane. And these are like, this is like going down Highway 99, where it's, 3-4 lanes across. These are big highways. But I've got us southbound and the northbound because I know. But it's a sandstorm.
Yeah.
You can barely see the hood of the truck. It's like, this is like going through the Thule fog. My driver who's with me is another lead vehicle commander. And we all happen to be on the same clip together because they needed bodies and trucks. Rev, his call sign, Rev's like, Hammer, did you see that? And it was like this trash bag looking thing on the road. It looked like somebody lost the load out of the back of a truck.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay. Because we have to evaluate. In split seconds, we have to evaluate, is this a bomb or is it safe for us to go by?
Yeah.
Well, we're trying to get the lights on it. We're trying to look. We're creeping. At this point, we've already told pace setter, hey, man, drop it back, go a nickel. I want you at 5 miles an hour creeping behind me. I want as much, like, I know this is weird shit. We know we're going into it. I want you as far away from us as possible. So when I get hit, I know you guys are safe.
Yeah.
And I know you're right behind me. So I know, we already know the drills. We're going to get blown up. You guys are going to come in. Hell's going to break loose. You guys are going to come in, get us out. We already know the deal, right? So you ask, are you afraid for your life? There's a couple times where you get jumpy.
Yeah.
But this was one of those times. Rev and I looked at each other. We reach over and we actually put our seatbelts on.
Yeah.
You don't wear your seatbelts in combat.
Yeah. Because you got this. Yeah.
You got too much gear. Like they tell you you're supposed to, but you've got the plates and all this. Like it's hard to get that thing around.
Yeah.
It's one of the only times I ever put my seatbelt on in combat because we knew. We creep up. There's another bag.
Kaboom.
Not yet.
Uh-huh.
We're like, because at first we're like, okay, maybe, guy's going down the highway, bag falls out, hits a bump, another bag falls out. Maybe, right? That's what we're thinking. That's what it'll look like because there's other stuff on the road. We go, we see the third bag. I get on the radio. We're like, stop. By the time we get to like grab the radio, I just remember this bright light. It's like pink and blue and just burns into like your brain.
Oh, yeah.
And that's it.
Did you go black?
I go black. Rev goes black. Next thing I know, I'm doing you're trained, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You're feeling your legs.
Yeah.
You're looking for blood. Hey, I'm green. You look over. Hey, are you green? And you're like, I remember that. And it's like, okay, we're green. We're radio squawking. We're green. And
I start taking rounds.
We're not small arms fire, heavy fire, tracer rounds.
Yeah.
Because small arms fire.
Belt fed.
Small arms fire, there's not tracers.
Yeah.
Tracer rounds are bouncing off the windshield, bouncing off the truck. And as dumb as this is, these are the parts I remember. We look at each other. We just start laughing. We get on the radio. Hey, we're good.
Yeah.
And I guess I called for fire. I did a whole bunch of John Rambo stuff that I don't even remember. I just remember me and Rev laughing, lighting up cigarettes.
Yeah.
And being like, well,
it's been nice knowing you.
we're sitting here. Basically, we knew we were stuck in this truck.
Yeah.
Until they came and got us, or till this thing catches fire and we got to bug out. Like that, one of two things are going to happen. Either the truck's going to catch fire and we got to bug out and find cover,
or you're going to get shot,
or the team's going to pull up and get us out. Team pulls up, pulls me out. Right, because they pull up on both sides of the truck.
Yeah.
That way their trucks can take the small arms fire, so there's a little pocket where you're safe. I get out. We got to go around.
Can you walk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Adrenaline's going.
Yeah.
We pull Rev out. And I remember helping to get Rev out because I'm on this side. The guys on this side are, it's Echo and Vato and our other guys. And then you got the gun trucks, but they don't have room in their trucks because they're in two-seaters. So they got to throw us in the gun trucks, right, to get you out. Kalsu's right down the road. And so I got to go around. I get around. We're going to pull Rev out. Rev's really rocked because his side took the impact. There's this hole in the cab of the truck. Right in front of the cab, right through the engine block. If we would have been 1 mile per hour faster,
probably would have.
It would have gone right through us.
Yeah.
This was not a IED. This was an EFP. Why does that matter? An EFP is like a potato gun. But instead of PVC pipe and a potato and some hairspray, it's a steel tube with some copper wire and some C4.
Yeah, because it makes it more concentrated.
So this is a directional.
Yeah.
I can aim this thing.
Yeah.
This is what we taught bin Laden and the Taliban. And yeah, it's not a conspiracy theorist. He was a CIA operative. We trained the guy.
Yeah, I totally believe that. Yeah,
it's Middle East history, folks, is not what you think it is.
Real fast, I got 60 questions.
All right,
and I'm going to let you finish this, but because I got some good stuff because I want to get to your political stuff.
This is the wrap on the military stuff, and I'll speed it up. So, and I haven't gone in depth on record on this, so you're getting a good scoop.
Got it.
But we get pulled out. We end up down in Kalsu. It's the same mace test, the same words, apple, elbow, carpet, shovel, bubble. You know, and I'm laughing at the nurse. I'm like, it's the same test.
Yeah.
So anyway, EFP blows through the engine block, hot knife through butter. This is what
I'm sure you
through
were heavily
tanks.
concussed, though.
Oh, I was rocked.
Oh, hell yeah.
The next 2 weeks of my life are like the beginning of Saving Private Ryan, where it's the black and white in and out.
Got it.
Bits and pieces, like probably more than the next 2 weeks. I've got a severe concussion, traumatic brain injury.
Oh, yeah.
They're flying me from Kalsu to Baghdad, trying to figure out if they're going to send me to Germany. I end up back down in Kuwait. They do a CAT scan. They do other stuff. They're telling me I got vertigo.
Oh, yeah.
Like
throwing off your equilibrium.
If I get up and move, my ears are ringing. I'm throwing up. I'm dry heaving. Like I am in bad shape. Command goes, we're sending you to Germany. And I go, I've still got guys downrange because I'm a sergeant.
Yeah.
You know, we grew up watching all the movies, right? You're the leader. You're first in, you're last out.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
You want to take care of your people.
And I'm going, I still got guys downrange. I was like, I'm not leaving. And it's like, Mathis, you got a wife and a kid back home. Like you just got rocked. Like your bell is rung, dude. Like you're done. Go home. And at this point, I already knew there was shitty shit going on back home. I knew she was fooling around. At this point, those things are happening. So it's like, I need to stay here. I know that's messed up back home. I know my guys are here.
Yeah.
Right now, my job is my soldiers. I need to make sure they get home. So I end up fighting command a little bit. But these are my guys. They deployed with some of them before. They knew I was a stubborn ass. So I stay.
Wow.
I finish out the deployment working tactical operations, TOC ops, running the shift with Master Sergeant Witt. He puts me in charge of a shift because I'm like, I'm not going back. Like I got guys here. You guys got shit that you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I was the guy you would.
So you're doing it from the command center.
So
yeah.
So I mean, I was already the guy that if a road got blown out, or MSR's down, we need a secondary route on the fly. I was the guy they woke up.
Got it.
And so we're doing all this stuff. And I mean, there's other fun stories I could get into of stupid stuff working TOC ops, but I come home. Well, fast forward, I come home. I get back. I come home to my account, my $80,000 re-up bonus gone.
Yeah. Yeah, she's been out having a good time.
She's got another guy living in the house.
Yeah.
The only thing I come home to, like my accounts are in the red. And granted, I figured it out right before I got back, created some different accounts. Try creating a new bank account when you're in a third world country.
Yeah, that's going to be almost impossible. Yeah.
Good times. But I come home to that.
Yeah.
I am rocked. And I found out later I was on watch. The military was afraid I was going to come home and kill this guy.
Yeah. And that's happened. That's happened a lot.
Yeah. I end up first VA thing, right? Because my thing was like, look, I can get home, and then even at DMOB, they're like, hey, you need to stay at DMOB and get medicaled out. We need to medically retire you out off of active duty, which I should have done.
Yeah.
I should have done, and if I would have 2 retirements right now besides my VA. I would have had the military medical
I was going to say,
out.
man, you know what, dude? You're like the 50th guy that's told me that. Yeah.
But I knew at that point, I knew for sure. I knew the accounts were jacked up. I knew there was another dude. I finally got her to fess up. I knew all these bad things were happening. And all I wanted to do was get home, square away, and see my son. And I should have stayed, but they were saying it was going to be like 2 years was the standard, medical out time. And I'm like, dude, I just want to get home and see my kid. I haven't seen my son for over a year. And so I get back, I start going through the VA. Well, the VA is like, hey, Dev, you got the body of an 85-year-old geriatric patient. You walk like a bear.
Yeah.
They give me, I got uppers and downers for going to sleep, for PTSD, I've got like maximum, like the oxy fentanyl crap that they were giving us back then. Everything. I'm an ox. Like right now we talked about coming in here. I've got the nerve pinched, my arm's tingly. Doesn't do anything for me.
All right, real fast. We're gonna have to transition because I got so many questions for you. We're not gonna be able to get through that.
I'm getting there. So anyway, come home, have the suicide attempt.
Shit, I didn't know that. Yeah, how'd you do that? Gun?
So my shotguns never failed me. This time it did.
Yeah.
I woke up with the whiskey bottles and the shotgun with the shell in.
Jesus Christ, man. See, I
popped it open, and you can see where the pin hit the shell.
And it just didn't.
And then
it didn't fire.
Didn't fire.
Wow. Jesus, brother.
So I go from that, tell Uncle Bob.
Yeah.
Uncle's like, no, you're getting real help from the VA. Like you're actually gonna get family wrapped around me real tight. And fast forward to a couple months later, I'm going to college, back in Porterville, and I realized my life as being the Billy Badass Sergeant Mathis, tough as nails, is over.
Oh yeah,
for the most part. And I got to figure out this VA stuff. I got to figure out this single dad stuff.
Yeah.
Her and I end up fighting it out. She gets rid of idiot boyfriend. I end up hooking back up with her. Surprise, I'm pregnant. Here's my second son. So we work it out.
Oh my God, dude.
We work it out. And then I'm going to college. Things are good on that front.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You got a Purple Heart. What does that mean to you privately? Give me a two minute answer.
Enemy marksmanship badge.
Yeah. Yeah. I know there's a lot of guys that they don't like it, but I could tell you this. Anytime I've ever seen anybody with a Purple Heart, I respect that.
Yeah.
Because and it deserves respect.
When I didn't want to sign for it.
Yeah. Because a lot of guys don't. Because
my Purple Heart is for a traumatic brain injury, is what it is on paper. For a concussion.
But fuck, man, you got blown up, bro. You deserve it, man.
Well, and back then they didn't have, you've got degenerative disc disease in your spine, and it's my spine is curved, it is twisted, it is jacked up, it is, everybody looks at me and like, hey, dude, you're in your prime, middle-aged white guy in your prime.
But you got a lot of shit.
No, man, you don't know what's going on under the surface, and so I didn't want to sign for it. Because I knew guys that had lost arms, and legs and burns, and it's the concussions, that invisible wound that rocks a guy deep.
And dude, you got that from a bomb, Devon. And I respect the hell out of that.
And so, but I didn't want the Purple Heart.
No, a lot of guys don't.
Because I remember sitting there, and I've got Major Lovelaces in front of me. Master Sergeant Witt's on one side, First Sergeant Howell's on the other side. And they're chewing my ass about signing, because I have to sign for it.
Yeah.
And they're telling me, look, you're going to thank us later. And they're right. And I do. And I'm glad they made me sign for it. But I go, I don't want to. I go, what? I'm going to go home and I'm going to have a Purple Heart. And everybody's going to go, dude, where's your scar? And I'm going to be like, it's in my head.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
I didn't, like, how do I explain to somebody, hey, I look perfectly fine. but I got a Purple Heart. Everybody wants to see the scar.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to, so a lot of people think it was my hand. Made a really good bar story when I was going to college about it being the hand. But they make me sign for it. Thankfully, I'm glad they did.
You definitely deserve it.
It's opened doors I never even thought about in my life.
How did it change the way you saw your life?
It's tough because at 25 years old, I was told I was disabled.
Yeah.
I was handed a bag of freaking meth.
Yeah.
From the VA.
Here's these meds. Take this shit.
Here's a bag of fentanyl.
Yeah.
Don't get hooked. Here's your uppers and downers and everything else. And thank you for your service. You're done.
Yeah.
At 25.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's young,
you're disabled. You're done. You have the body of an 85-year-old geriatric patient, and you'll have early onset Alzheimer's by the time you're 45.
Yeah. How old are you now, bro?
43.
All right.
So I still got a couple good years.
What parts of that war followed you home, brother?
All of it, man.
Okay.
All of it. When I got back in 2004, I remember not being able to watch the news.
Yeah. Because
I felt guilty that I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Because you're watching guys die, and you're like, if they were on my team, that shit wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
And then you go through getting the blown up. You go through, oh, wait, things are starting to wrap out. We're starting to pull out. Things are starting to change. And I remember we would joke. You'd see these things all over. They had it plastered. Here's the signs for PTSD. And it was like a punch card joke. It's like, I don't quite have all of them yet. We're still good.
Yeah.
And I mean, we all had it, man.
Oh, dude. I would tell you something.
And I'll tell you this, because you're law enforcement. Law enforcement, first responders do not get the respect they deserve over PTSD.
That's goddamn right, dude.
They don't, and I know you guys thank us for our service,
dude.
But for me,
I was just going to ask you that,
Jason. For me, I got a lot of law enforcement in the family. Our first responders see the worst sides of humanity. I saw it in a third world country where you expect to see it.
Yeah.
Our first responders see it in the neighborhoods we live in.
It's a whole different ballgame.
Going home from combat versus going home from beat patrol.
Yeah. I don't know about you, bro. When people say, thank you for your service, I don't think people understand what that phrase truly means.
It just feels weird, man.
It does. And I tell you what, I've told, I always say this. I'm very nice to people, and I would go, thank you. It's very nice of you to say that. But they don't know the shit. I went to 100,000 calls for service. And I will tell you something, man. Yeah. I've seen people shot, stabbed, ran over, set on fire, you name it. What was harder, going to war or coming home?
So you know this quote, Plato.
Yeah.
Only the dead have seen the end of war.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
It's real.
It is real.
And that's just it. And people that, whether you're military or first responder, it will be with you in one way, shape, or form. It will wrap around you. It is now part of your DNA. And so when I started college, and I originally started college, I was going to get into PTSD counseling.
I think you've been good at it.
And I was just going to I started off in a certificate program at Porterville College. My grades weren't great when I was in high school. I think I graduated with like a 2.1. You want to talk about mentors, my swim coach and water polo coach, Lori Gross. Awesome dude, Reedley High. We were league champs. He'd always give me crap because I was one of the only guys on the team that didn't have a 3.0.
Yeah.
And I went, Coach, if I was required to have a 3.0, I'd have a 3.0. I'm only required to have a 2.0, and I got a 2.1.
Yeah.
And that's something that's stuck with me because all my kids, I tell them, if you don't keep at least a 3.5, you're grounded.
Yeah.
Because the expectations that we set on our kids, right? All I was told was I better graduate high school, not screw up. So what I do, I graduated high school. I didn't overly screw up. I had to take adult school classes to get the credits and all of that, but like it was the expectations. So I look back and it's maybe I'm being hard on my kids, but I'm like, no.
You're not, because I'm going to tell you something. I graduated with dude, I think I was worse than you. I think I was like maybe a 2.0 to graduate. But dude, my bachelor's, 4.0.
Oh, yeah.
My master's, 3.9. And I will tell you this, man. When you're paying for the shit, it's a whole different ball game.
It's for me, right? Because I have my GI Bill for my bachelor's and stuff, and I looked at it like it was a job.
Yeah,
I looked at it like it was a mission, right?
Yeah.
I'm coming out of the military. My job, my sole purpose, my mission is to get an A in this class and to learn. And so when you're in combat, you treat your combat scenario, you treat your mission like it is the most important thing on the planet at that time for survival.
Yeah.
And if you treat your college class that way, if you treat your job that way, if you treat whatever you're working on that way, I mean, this goes into all those motivational things, right? It's the, what do they say? If you want it as bad as you want to breathe, you will do it. And it doesn't matter what it is. So when you put that combat mentality into what you're doing, where, and people, I get criticized for it. They're like, Devon, you don't take no for an answer. And I'm like, no means you're dead.
Yeah. You know what? When I teach, what I tell kids?
No doesn't work.
I always say this. There's two types of people. There's the people that do, and then there's people that got the bullshit excuse of why they didn't. Mm-hmm. And if you really want to do it, I tell people, go all in. Yeah. Did you ever feel lost stepping back into the civilian world?
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah.
It was, that was the haze around the suicide attempt.
Yeah.
It was the, being drunk, being wasted, mixed with the fentanyl, just that blur that life was at that time. The anger.
Oh, yeah.
I remember, I grew up, what would be considered a good little Mormon boy for the most part. And then, went off to the military and went the ways of the world.
Yeah.
And
are you Mormon to this day?
Yeah, I'm LDS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I got sober about 5 years ago and came back.
Good for you, man.
And very life-changing, very, very different who I am today versus even who I was 5 years ago. Yeah.
What did the therapy teach you about yourself?
So I did my first stint of PTSD counseling more because child custody fights and all of those other things. And it's like, oh, yeah, he's got PTSD. He's crazy. He's not safe to be around the kids. And it's like, no, bullshit.
Yeah.
And I did group first.
Yeah.
And when I was in group, there's this guy, and I won't say which branch of service, Vietnam, just an asshole. Blamed everything on everybody else. Yeah. They're not living to the standards. They're not doing that. Like couldn't separate things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, this guy's an asshole. I do not want to be like that. I don't want my relationships with my kids to be like that.
Yeah.
I don't want, when I get married, again, I don't want it to be like that. I don't want to be this guy. This guy's an ass. I cannot allow myself to be that way. And for me, growing up, going back, because Dad wasn't around, right? I mean, he was and all of that, and like what I said earlier about my pops. But I looked at the men around me, like Mr. Dyke, like Coach Gross, like a few others. Looked at my big brother, looked at Uncle Bob. Who were the men that were assholes and who were the men that were worth a shit?
Yeah.
And so
People that serve, sounds like to me.
And so you structure your life and your merit of the good man I want to become on that. And some Hollywood stuff and other things, but
You know what the problem with guys with us, like with me and you is? And honestly, our Achilles heel will be this way until the day we die. We have a hard time asking for help.
well, we have a hard time asking for help. And actually, my success was learning to be humble enough to ask for help.
Got it.
And so, because I was always that Jimmy Rough Nuts,
Yeah.
to put it bluntly, F you, I don't know you, I don't need to know you, kick rocks. If you're not, I don't need to know you.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that mentality in politics?
Yeah. It wouldn't work.
It ain't going anywhere. So I get into college, and I know you got your next 60 questions, so I'll give you I get involved. I got a couple of professors, Richard Good, Richard Osborne, both prior service guys. They find out I was a sergeant. It's like, hey, you want to get an A in my class, you want to pass, you're going to join Veterans Club. And I'm like, dude, I'm here. I got the wife.
I would have done that, man.
I got the wife. I got the kids. I just want to pass the class. I want to get my degree. I want to get into counseling. I want to help other guys because at that point, I wanted the counseling because I'd been a sergeant. I want to take care of my guys.
Yeah.
And I went through what I went through coming home. I wanted to make sure that there was somebody else there for the other guys that would pick them up, that they knew.
I respect the hell out of that.
They knew that it was okay. Because think about this. In this world, right, we get all this crap about toxic masculinity, all this bullshit. Men of our generation, whether you're Gen X, whether you're a millennial, you were taught as a man to suck it up.
Yep.
You don't show weakness. You don't cry. You swallow down your emotions. You don't. And I'll tell you this, that's bullshit, and it's the worst advice we got.
Yeah, I agree.
And it takes a lot, and it's hard, and it's no, you don't go out and just cry to everybody.
No.
But you got to find that circle of guys that you can counsel each other, that you can hold each other accountable with. Is for me, that's with church, that's with the elders quorum. I love my elders quorum because it's other guys, and we get to talk about our relationship with God, our wives, parents growing old and dying, our teenagers, the whole mix. And you get to talk to the old guys and the young guys, and it's just this beautiful mix where it's just the guys, and you can feel the spirit there, and like, it's a good meeting and a good class when everybody walks out half in tears.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, man, I love you.
Well, you know what, brother, man, and, God bless you. You graduated with honors. Did that feel like redemption?
Oh, for college?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Well, it was one of those, I think guys like us, we grew up street smart.
Yes.
And street smarts is something that can't be taught.
That is totally true. You either have it or you don't.
There's a grit, there's a smarts to it. You can't teach it. It's learning how to read a room, learning how to read a situation, trusting those gut instincts and feelings and the energies and the whole ebb and flow of everything that's happening in a moment.
Big time. You know what? It's so true. We always have situational awareness. And I think a lot of people that are victimized don't. They, it's like guys like us. Whether you realize it or not, Devon, until the day you die, you're always going to have that head on a swivel. And I do too. Who helped you? Who helped pull you out when you were struggling at your most?
There was a time when I didn't know how to pay for things. I didn't know all that other stuff. And I remember Uncle Bob going, sometimes being a man means swallowing your pride.
Yeah.
Because I remember being on food stamps back when it was like the printout check. And
Oh,
you had to
yeah.
wait.
My mom had those.
And you could only do like, here's the check for milk, cheese, and eggs. And you can only, so you're trying to sort through the groceries. Everybody's lined up behind you.
Pissed off.
The damn welfare babies, all that crap. And you're like, dude, I'm just trying to feed my kids.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I'm trying to feed my kids.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed enough that I got to do all of this. And I can only, I got to here's the check. And here, and literally as you're unpacking the cart, you got the little check out. You're like, hey, I'm sorry, we're food stamps here. People don't know what that's like. And I'll tell you this, there's a lot of politicians that have no freaking clue.
Big time, dude.
What it's like to be in that line. And now everything's on an EBT card, so
I would tell you something, dude. My mom would pull out those checks, and I would immediately get embarrassed. And I look back on it now, and my mom didn't have a high school diploma. We were on welfare and living off food stamps, and she had to do what you got. For you, at what point did politics even enter your mind, brother?
Politics. So the political bug started Porterville City College.
Got it.
I am the vice president of the College Veterans Club.
Got it.
And we had a meeting with the State Board of California Community Colleges on what veterans need at college.
Got it.
We walk out of the meeting. It's my buddy Steven Soto. He was a doc. He was the president. The professors, and they just told us, oh, yeah, we're going to get a veterans center. We're going to get all these great things, right? All the sunshine and rainbows you could ever want.
Yeah, none of that shit came.
So, and at this point, like in my head, my master, I'm like, I'm going to get maybe a master's in licensed clinical social work, maybe a doctorate in neuropsych. Like I'm really geeked out on traumatic brain injuries. I have done cognitive retraining therapy, like intensive. Like I was the guy before I got started. I would go like, hey, I'm babe, I'm going to go over to grandma's. I'm going to check the mail and see how grandma's doing. I would disappear for 8 hours. My cell phone would be blowing up. I'd be in like the Walmart parking lot, zoned out. I could not tell you where I was.
Hey, I was going to ask you, have you heard about Ibogaine? How the Navy SEAL guys go down to Mexico and they take like DMT.
Little bit.
I tell you something, dude. If you get an opportunity, watch it. It's on HBO. It's called Waves of War. They take 3 dudes from SEAL Team 6, all studs, all assassins. I mean, these guys are the shit. They were all suicidal.
Yeah.
Alcoholics. I mean, just bad.
Yeah.
They went down there and did that. They are all healed.
Yep.
And I will tell you something, man. God bless. Because, man, those spec op dudes, man, dude, they live a whole different life. Mm-hmm. And I will tell you something, man. I look at you and I mean, your story is so redemption and your story is so uplifting. When you decided to run for office, did people think you were crazy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So, got the political bug, switched degrees from neuropsych
to poli-sci
to public administration.
Okay.
So I asked the professors, right, because we were like, hey, they just blew smoke up your ass. And I go, what degree do I need to get? So this has been the story of my academic life. What degree do I need to get? So when we put all this stuff, black and white, pen on paper, what degree do I need to get to hold their feet to the fire to make sure we get it? Right? Because I learned enough being a sergeant where if there's not an SOP, right? Why did I write the lead vehicle commander SOP?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't written, and I dealt with idiots that were going, well, hey, Sergeant, you can't have that on your truck, or you don't get that because, well, where's the SOP that says I got to get it?
Yeah.
So I look it up. There is no SOP. So what do? I freaking write it.
Yeah.
Granted, the colonel in First Army is the one that got the credit for it.
Yeah, but as long as you're doing something that's helping your guys.
Rank has its privileges. But it's civilian life. Okay. I've learned in the military I got to put it on paper, but I
Yeah.
also have to, there's a way to hold them to it. So what degree do I need to get? Because now I'm beyond, okay, I've learned, okay, guys need help with counseling, all of this, and that's great. But I also start realizing I can be a counselor, but I'm going to work a caseload.
Yeah.
And that's the guys I'm going to be able to help, and that's probably it. Granted, now I know you can do more stuff, but
now you go,
so then you go from working the caseload to, well, what controls the caseload? What are the mechanisms?
Yeah.
What are the policies? What says this? How do I control that? What
Yeah.
degree is that? Public admin. I remember going, what the hell is that?
yeah.
Because I'm a poor redneck Okie boy from Podunk, Porterville, don't know nothing.
Yeah.
What do I know about, you're a cop, you're a firefighter, you're
Yeah.
law enforcement, doctors, lawyers.
Yeah.
The hell's public admin? Never,
Yeah.
like literally never heard of it. I'm like 28 years old, 29 years old. The
Yeah.
hell is public admin? So at the time, wife's pregnant with baby boy number 3.
Got it.
I'm in the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society as the secretary.
Okay.
Want to prove I'm not.
Is that the veteran?
No.
Okay.
So honor society,
Okay. Honor Society. Got
right?
it.
So when you're the dumb punk in high school, now you want to prove you're actually smart. So what do?
Yeah.
You join the honor society. Hey, I got the grades. I'm actually smart. Get accepted to Stanford.
Wow.
Get accepted to Davis.
Okay.
Fresno State and Bakersfield are the fallback schools. Wife's pregnant.
Yeah.
Hey, babe.
We're moving to Palo Alto.
Where do we go?
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't want to leave Porterville.
Yeah. So it makes sense.
So it's like, it's okay. So it's like, I'm not even going to tell you about getting in Stanford
Yeah.
because I know that's off the table.
Dude, but Stanford, man.
Oh, I
That's our Ivy League, dude.
but think about this, right? Think about the kind of guys we are. For me, all I've ever wanted in this life is the white picket fence and a family.
Yeah.
That's it. Granted, God clearly has other plans for me. And in my faith, we believe in the law of covenants where your time and your talents are given to you through the struggles of life. God's created you to be this way. You have a purpose here, and God has given you these gifts. Your job on this world is to take what your experiences and the talents you've been given to serve others.
Yes.
To serve the kingdom of God, to help make things better. So I go to Fresno State, and immediately I feel like home at Fresno State. I had lifeguarded at Wild Water Adventures. I'd already partied in Fresno back in the day. I knew the area. I meet these guys. This guy, Junrel Sumageng. Little Filipino Marine dude, total badass, becomes my fraternity big bro.
Okay.
They're starting the California Alpha chapter of Omega Delta Sigma. I become one of the guys of the charter class.
Okay.
So now we're creating a fraternity for veterans at Fresno State. They'd already done all the legwork stuff. I'm part of the charter class. I pledge in. I become philanthropy chair. I become vice president, chapter president, national vice president.
Oh, wow.
And
Big moves, brother.
And the whole time at Fresno State, it was all about, one, the most lethal, scariest thing to the government is a veteran with a college degree.
Yeah.
Because we already know how to overthrow countries, and now we know how they're actually supposed to work.
Yeah.
And so I go from that. I do my Kenneth Maddie Scholarship. I work with John Holt, who's the city manager for Clovis.
Okay.
So I learned how cities work inside and out. My degree in public administration, I drove my poli-sci professors nuts because I wanted to understand the VA so I could help veterans. Well, what's the VA? What's the veteran world like? You have government, which is your typical public admin. Then you have the health side. So I took health law and legislation courses. 2012, as Obamacare, the ACA rolls out. We literally, I remember the professor walking into the room with printouts of the Affordable Health Care bill because it had just passed, saying, take your books back to the bookstore immediately. Like as soon as I'm done talking, take them back. You're taking a copy of this. This is the new healthcare Bible, and this is what we're going to be learning this semester. I have no idea what's in it. They don't know what's in it. They literally just said we have to pass it to find out what's in it.
Yeah.
Now
Pelosi saying
your class is going to be learning what's in it.
Yeah.
So I learned.
Good for you.
I was in the class. And then I took the humanities for the grant writing and all of that, the nonprofits.
Okay.
Because the veterans world is healthcare, it's government, and it's nonprofits.
I would tell you something, man. I just filed a claim with the VA and I got denied. And I tell you something, in my opinion, I think the VA it's a mess, dude. It's a mess. You were called an underdog. Did that label fuel you?
A story of my life.
Okay.
So I graduated Fresno State.
Got it.
Did my Kenneth Maddie, all of that. At this point, I'm living off my VA. Right.
Yeah.
So
Are you 100% rated?
oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. With the Gulf War syndrome kicker and everything else. You know, I was in the burn pits. I was in all the others.
Yeah.
You know, when we weren't doing all the cool, fun convoy stuff and QRF stuff, we were burning shit and pushing solvent tanks into burn pits and all of that.
All that stuff that's toxic and
Yeah.
could kill you anyways. Yeah.
Yeah. So, right, if my spinal cord doesn't go out on me, something else will. You know, the hard part with being my generation of veteran who's been injured is trying not to let the disabled rule your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm 100% disabled. Can I go and do, like, dude, I loved flipping houses. I loved doing the construction, the craftsmanship, the work, being able to, at the end of the day, like, you rebuilt a house and it's the best house on the block. I love that.
Yeah, but you being up on a ladder or doing other shit is not good.
If I tried to do that today, I might get a day.
Yeah. Maybe your body's going to be shot for the rest of the week.
The next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what I did. I pinched the nerve in my neck again.
Well, for the folks at home, we took a break and I actually had to like bring his arms together with his arms behind him because he gets these pinches and then his arm goes numb. And, you know, for you, what was the hardest part about campaigning? Asking people for money, I'm sure. That's always tough.
Asking people for money because being poor.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is.
Yeah.
And you know how hard it is to make money.
Yeah.
And so you value money differently.
Yes.
Because you know it's blood, sweat, and tears of a family.
Yeah.
That was always hard. So I had fresh out of college. I thought I was actually going to go work. There's a program for Purple Heart guys to work for a congressman as like a field rep.
Got it.
And I had actually helped my buddy Kyle Turner get the spot for Nunes because I told him about it because he was graduating right before me. He's Silver Star, Purple Heart, super awesome dude. The joke was he's always like, I'm going to run for Congress. You'll be my chief of staff. And I would go, bullshit, I'm taller and better looking. You can be my chief of staff. So Kyle works for Nunes as the field rep guy. One of the other guys was working for Congressman Jeff Denham. Jeff Denham, awesome dude, veteran, Wish he was still in Congress. I thought I was going to go work for Jeff.
Got it.
His team up in Fresno. Redistricting happened. They lost Fresno. They moved more north. So when I actually applied to be a field rep, because they kept trying to hire me on, and I go, no, I'm not going to go to work for you until after I get my degree. Because if I go to work for you now, some young punk with the degree is going to be my boss, and screw that.
Yeah.
And so that happens. At this point, I'm divorced from my older boy's mom. I'm at college. Met another gal that I had fooled around with in the military. My twin's mom, and everybody, it's the political romance story, but it was like, look, we were dumb, we were fooling around, she got pregnant, we made the best of it.
Yeah.
And then it just didn't work. And that's the nicest story I can give to it.
So the wife you're with now is wife 3?
I'm not married now.
Oh, okay.
Ladies, I'm single.
Okay.
It's the story of my life. So I end up moving back to Visalia to be closer to the older boys, right? Because at that point, it's the only kids I have.
Got it.
Bought the house with the VA, made sure all the budget was with the VA. And I'm like, man, I'm bored. I need to work. I need to do some other stuff. And I had gotten a job right as I was buying the house. I got a phone call to work on a campaign for Esther Barajas, who was running for state assembly.
I remember that.
And so I worked as Esther's campaign manager. Her consultant was this guy, Sean Doherty. And that's a deeper, darker
Yeah, we'll
story.
do a deep dive on that one day.
Yeah. What a piece of work.
I was going to ask you this. When you finally realized that you were actually going to win,
So
how did that feel? What did that even feel like?
So I took the holidays off. I worked for Mark Abernathy, Western Pacific Research. Mark Abernathy he was the mad scientist. The guy worked with Reagan campaign. He went to Harvard before there was a Kennedy School at Harvard. Wicked smart guy. I worked with Mark, learned as much as I could from him. And remember, at this point, 10-year Army sergeant, they had gone around, they would send me into units. Even after I got out, after I was blown up, I still had my contract with the Guard to fill.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, no, I'm going to honor that. So as I'm going to college, as I'm doing this stuff, I'm still going to the National Guard. I'm still going to drill, still going, and still helping other people train. And basically, I was evaluating units, evaluating readiness, and then I'd go to my home unit and do the stuff with those guys. But when you're trained to walk in to a command center and real quick understand their operations inside and out.
I don't know if you remember this, but I was in a leadership Visalia, and you came in and spoke to our class. And that's kind of like my first time I had ever really sit down with you and talked. I was impressed. How strange is it for somebody to come from combat boots to the state assembly, man?
It's rare.
Yes.
But so anyway, I worked for Mark, looked back at the campaigns, saw the race open up. So learned this really cool political algorithm when I was in college. What are the voting demographics? What are the age? What are all the different? It's the Taco Bell commercial. The algorithm's always right. So I run the algorithm, throwing my name in there. Holy crap, the algorithm shows I win 60-40.
Wow.
So I take it to Mark. Please tell me this is wrong. I've been up all night trying to prove the algorithm wrong because there's no way.
Yeah.
I'm Devon Mathis. I'm a podunk, oaky white boy. Family doesn't have money.
Going up against a Hispanic and a predominantly Hispanic county.
Yeah, it's there's no way. But you're looking at the split. You're looking at all these different things. Mark comes back. He's like, your numbers are right. And that was like the oh shit moment.
All
It was
right.
like, okay, we're either in or we're not. Okay, what do I got to do? Here's what you got to come up with the money. You got to do this. You got to do this.
How much money did it take?
It's about $1,000, right? To pull, you got to pull papers. You got to do this stuff. So make the phone calls, get the money. So this turns into a combat operation.
Yeah.
That's how I won. People are like, how'd you win? I'm like,
I remember you spoke, you were all over the place, speaking all over the place. And that was probably, in my opinion, probably the smartest thing I saw you do because you were everywhere.
oh yeah.
Yeah. And I think that, for me, a lot of people want me to run for office one day. And if I do it, I would be doing the same shit. I'd be like, because you can't meet people if you're not out there doing it.
Yep.
You got to be out there pressing flesh.
Your typical Politico 101 is raise a bunch of money to pay for the propaganda, the mail and the commercials to build the name ID to get it out there. And then you go walk a couple of precincts and hey, look at us, we walked precincts. That's your Politico 101 garbage that any half decent campaign consultant's going to tell you.
Yeah.
I had studied counterinsurgency operations, COIN.
Yeah.
For non-commissioned officers, COIN. Counterinsurgency operations, non-commissioned officers. COIN is the acronym. What is that? What was the thing we heard on the news 24/7 about Iraq?
Weapons of mass destruction.
Weapons of mass destruction, hearts and minds.
Yes.
This is a hearts and minds campaign. Hearts and minds.
Yeah.
Hearts and minds. What's hearts and minds? It's community by community, building the relationship where they like us more than they like the enemy.
Yeah.
Hearts and minds. What do you do in a political campaign?
Yeah. You got to go out and talk to people.
Go to every single thing I can go to, and I want you to like me more than the other guy.
Yeah.
I treated it like a military operation. I literally pulled papers on the final day that you could pull papers, but it was a battle plan. It was an operation. We had marching orders, moving orders, when guys were going to be where. I'm a sergeant. We wrote this up. I called the other guys I know. I called the fraternity brothers in. I called all the guys from the different veterans organizations that I knew. We dialed in. We locked tight, and we went.
I was impressed, dude.
And people, like I remember some of my families like, Devon, what are you doing? We're not one of those families. And I said, not yet.
Yeah. It always takes that one person that says, break away. We're going this route.
Well, yeah, it's the only thing that's stopping you from doing it is you.
Yeah.
And you're going to have family and friends and other people that are going to like, oh, no way you can't do that. Oh,
Dude,
because they've never done it.
They've never done it.
And all it takes is just to step out and do it.
What surprised you most about politics?
How easy it is if you do the right thing.
Got it. And why do so many politicians don't do the right thing?
Because of the pressure.
Yeah. Special interest.
It's special interest, but it's not special interest like you would think it would be, where it's like one lobby group versus another. Special interest is also the political party.
Yeah.
You have within both political parties, and maybe this bites me in the ass when I run for Congress one day or U.S. Senate or something, who knows, right? God only knows what's next. Both parties are corrupt and both parties can be full of shit.
Yeah, I believe that.
There are decisions that I made where because who runs the party? Who is the party?
Yeah.
Whether it's the Democrat or Republican, who is the party? It's a handful of people that are in positions of power that think their opinions matter more than anybody else.
Yeah.
It's the mean girls in high school.
Yeah.
It's the popular jocks that think they're cooler than everybody else.
I was going to ask you this. Here in California, where Democrats have a supermajority, how hard is it for a Republican to get anything done?
So fact check me on it, but when I was getting out, staff had told me that I had broken the record for a minority member with the number of bills signed in a single year.
Really? Good for you, man.
So I think Juan Alanis has tied me, but he hasn't beaten me.
Okay.
So Juan, if you hear this, good luck. I'd love to see you beat me, but until then, too bad.
Yeah. And that whole system, how do you stay true to yourself when you're getting pressured from all sides, bro? That's got to be hard.
You got to live with yourself.
Yeah.
For me, it's there's a lot of weight on me because of my situation with my dad and everything else, where I told myself, hey, you're going to be a good man.
Yeah.
Like you might do bad things in life. You might screw up, right? It's what we learn with Jesus Christ and the atonement, God's plan, right? Like you're going to screw up. God knows you're going to mess up.
Yeah.
You know, and as a dad, I think I realized more that just like we have a heavenly Father that loves us no matter what, as a dad, I love my kids no matter what.
Yeah.
My kids are going to screw up. They're going to mess up. Guess what? No matter how bad they mess up, I'm still going to want to comfort them. I'm still going to want them to know, like, hey, learn your lesson.
Dude, I live it all the time.
But let's grow from this. Let's do this. And when you come to a realization that God works the same way, it's different. But I think on that perspective, I think there's people that have abusive dads that are like, I don't want an abusive dad that's going to tell me what to do. So that we could do a whole other podcast just on that. But in politics, for me, it was, I got here. I didn't survive war. I didn't get blown up twice. I didn't survive suicide. I didn't survive all this crap to cave into some bullshit just because a group of people tell me, well, we want you to do this because we said.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I am now the guy who's educated in public administration. So I actually understand how to read and write policy. Like I took the degree so I could understand the black and white on how things mechanically work in this society. When I graduated with public admin, out of all the people in Fresno State, I think there might have been a handful of us that weren't poli-sci guys that were actually public admin guys.
Yeah.
Because we're like, I don't want to go practice the law. I want to learn how to write it, and I want to understand the mechanics of it because I want to make sure it works right. And so in politics, I think the biggest, fieriest one that everybody knows about me was the cap and trade vote.
Yeah.
Right? That's the one everybody lost their minds. And do I think most of cap and trade is a bunch of crap? Yeah, I do. A lot of this stuff is nonsense. Do I think it is a scheme where people are buying credits and selling credit? It's a stock market for emissions is what it is.
Yeah.
It's a government-ran stock market for emissions. But if you know how to game, like playing Monopoly, playing any game, if you know how to game the system, you know the rules, you help write the rules, you're going to profit. That's the way it is. But what I looked at was I had politicians that weren't in the room trying to tell me how to vote from D.C. I had political party people that were their buddies telling me, well, this is what I need to do. And then I had the business guys, the actual stakeholders, telling me what the mechanics of the policy were going to do to jobs on the ground. I'm a sergeant.
Yeah.
I've been on the ground. I know what happens when higher command tells you some bullshit, you get blown up and almost die.
Yeah.
They can suck it.
Good for you, man.
So what I did was, and I pissed a lot of people off when I did it, and then other people turn around and were like, hey, what you did was really awesome. My goal with cap and trade was there was already a deal put together with Governor Jerry Brown, with all the ag groups, with everybody else. They needed so many Republican votes. And there was different deals. There was an environmental justice deal where the super left, blue hair EJs were trying to get this super thing that was going to like kill ag, all this stuff. Like there was two different things going on that were competing. So it was like, if we can't put together ours, and Brown told us flat out, he goes, look, you guys either put together your deal, which I'd rather sign, or they're going to put together their deal. Either way, I got to sign one of these because I have to keep this program going. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to be damned. And the hard right guys have this mentality of, well, screw them. Let them vote on it. Make them own it. They're the bad guys. We can now sell the propaganda. They're the bad guy.
Yeah.
Look at what they did. It's so bad. Blame them. I didn't freaking get blown up twice to sit on my hands in Sacramento and have it get worse for your families, for you to lose your job.
Yeah.
Because I want to blame the other guy.
Let me ask you this. Which one do you like better, Brown or Newsom?
I still talk to Jerry Brown.
Okay. Okay.
Jerry's an awesome dude.
Okay. Is there a vote that still bothers you to this day?
I think there's some votes that I made earlier on with like some anti-recidivism stuff and things like that where I voted against it, where looking back, reflecting on life, I would have voted different because I think there's a lot of stuff like with second chances.
Yeah.
Where it's really easy to demonize somebody that's screwed up, right? You were talking about your buddy Little Devil,
Yeah.
right? Is homie screwed up.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean
That he's a bad dude.
he can't pull his head out of his ass
Yeah.
and decide to make a change in his life and be a better person.
Yeah.
And being the Christian man that I am, when you think about the atonement, when you think about what's the purpose, right? We're supposed to love Jesus and love others like Jesus loves. Well, in order to love Jesus, we have to accept the fact that he took on the sins of everybody that's ever wronged us, which means we have to forgive those things and not hold those things in our hearts.
Yeah.
Which is hard.
It is hard.
And so there are things I look back at where it's like, maybe I was too harsh on my views at the time. I think going into politics, being new, I mean,
Gosh, you're pretty young too, dude.
Oh yeah, I was the youngest Republican in.
How old were you?
I was 31, no, just turned 32 at the end of the election, right when we won.
How old is Macedo?
Allie's a little bit younger.
Yeah, 20s, right?
I think she turns 31 this year.
And she took your office.
Yeah.
Okay. And could you not run again, or?
So I had one more term I could have done.
Yeah.
And what people don't realize with California state office, whether it's assembly or senate, is you're term limited to 12 years.
Got it.
And at the end of those 12 years, you know what you get?
Nothing. Yeah.
But no, dude, all these people think it's so cool
Yeah.
that you're an elected. And I'm proud of what I've done over the last 10 years. Like I've got boxes of stuff still, like Legislator of the Year awards for veterans, for helping people with disabilities, for ag, for water, for the little guy.
I would tell you something. If you never done another thing in your life, the fact that you're even advocating for veterans is enough for me.
But it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because and put it into perspective. And I've got the utmost respect for, look at Jim Patterson.
Yeah.
Jim Patterson's a great guy. Like him, love him, hate him. I respect the man. He's a great guy. We have had times where we've worked really, really close and I've loved him, and we have times where we have beefed and I thought he was the biggest asshole in the world.
Yeah.
I love Jim. I've got nothing but love for Jim Patterson. Jim, I think, is like 76 now. Him and I got out of the assembly the same year.
Yeah.
He did his full 12. I got out at 10. And I just look at the age perspective.
Yeah.
And Jim's done other things in his life. Broadcasters, owned stations, done all these things. Done a lot of amazing things in his life. He's 76.
Yeah.
I'm now 43.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where he's retired out and done. And
yeah, you still got a lot of life left. Yeah.
Hopefully he'll do some other stuff.
Yeah.
I am entering my prime.
Yeah.
Is the way I have to look at it.
Yeah.
And I'm entering my prime as somebody with a master's in strategic public relations from George Washington, which
I wanted to transition to that real fast because
Okay.
that's a top-notch school. What gap did you see that led you to start Azimuth Public Relations?
So, one, I decided I needed to get a master's
Yeah.
in parts of, I knew term limits were coming up and I knew redistricting was coming up.
Yeah.
And after being the assemblyman and being in the game, I realized a bachelor's degree after office isn't going to cut it.
No, it's not.
And I would watch senior staff with master's degrees turn over and go work for lobbying firms and other things. And that if you really wanted to do something with it, with the experience, I'm sitting there going, I've got the experience. I mean, I finished the assembly as chair of operations for the caucus. There's a couple times I flirted with being Republican leader, but then I was like, if I do that, I'm not going to be able to be home with my kids.
Yeah.
And I hope my kids realize it now that my older boys are in the teenage punk stage and, oh, Dad, you're not there for us. It's like, dude, I hope you realize
Yeah.
I could have really not been there and been all over the state fundraising and doing all the things that the leader does, but I didn't want that life. That was part of the reason why I punched out at 10, because there's no retirement from the assembly. You literally, you do the 10 years or the 12 years, there's no retirement. I can't even count the 10 years I've got 12 years of National Guard time, which could count for the PERS system that I could buy back.
Yeah.
So there's 12 years there plus 10 years here. You would think I'd be able to get a retirement from it? No.
I would tell you something. You told me something years ago, and a lot of people don't realize this, but a county board of supervisor makes more than a state assemblyman.
Yeah.
That should not happen.
I think they make over $20,000 a year more.
Yeah.
And they get retirement.
What kind of problems do you feel most driven to solve now?
It's, God, I think the hard part is there's still so many. There's a bunch of stuff in the Veterans Administration.
Oh, yeah.
Because now that I don't have my state assembly member health care, I'm back on the VA health care.
Yeah.
So I see it like
It's not good.
Like what I'm dealing with
Yeah, it's not
personally
good.
right now with this pinched nerve thing. The fact that I can't get a couple chiropractor appointments,
Yeah.
which would alleviate the pain that I'm in right now. The system's jacked up. It's flawed. My opinion is that the VA healthcare system should work where it should be an insurance provider, not a primary care.
I totally agree.
And I've actually drafted legislation on it in my computer. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it. Though I've also just got out of my 1-year moratorium. So for 1 year, you're not allowed to influence legislators.
Got it.
Or it's a felony and it's all bad. So
Hatch Act, or which one is that?
it's your, oh gosh, I forget the law. But it's a 1-year moratorium where you cannot, because I got offered jobs just to go like, hey, we're doing this retreat. Will you sit on this panel and talk about whatever?
Yeah, you're like,
And so you run it by the FPPC. They're like, hey, I got offered this contract. I want you to check to make sure this is okay before I take it. And letter back. Would you be influencing, your opinion on the panel might influence the decisions they make.
Yeah.
Therefore, you're influencing no.
Got it.
And it's like,
Yeah, I get it.
You're not telling them to vote yes or no, but my opinion carries weight, so I can't do it. So what I looked at was term limits, all these other things. It's like my time in the assembly is going to come to an end.
Yeah.
I need to get a master's degree. What master's is that? Do I get public policy? Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger's got this really awesome quote that says Republicans are failing at the box office. What does that mean? It means you can have the best policy in the world. You can have the best candidate in the world. But if nobody's buying tickets to your show,
Yeah.
you're going to lose.
Yeah.
So how do you get people to buy tickets? Well, that's marketing. Well, yeah, but marketing's basic sales. Marketing's not the heart.
Yeah.
What is public relations?
Yeah.
Public relations is it's propaganda is what it is.
I love it.
It really is.
No,
we don't call it. We don't
yeah.
call it propaganda anymore. But public relations is how do you feel about a certain thing, and how can I make sure that our company or our policy or our whatever we're doing is going to make you feel good or make you feel bad.
Yeah.
And how do we pull on the emotional heartstrings to get you to go one way or another?
Got it.
What is missing in politics? Especially Republican politics. Republicans have great policy. They try to explain it in a 20-page document, and they fail because nobody's going to read it.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to care. You want to know how people vote? People vote on emotion. The number one demographic that Republicans lose on is women.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say it that way. Ladies, you all know you're emotional creatures and we love you and you can't live without you. But you vote on emotion.
Well, I would tell you something, man. And this is my, I'm not a politician, but from me looking in, it just seems politics is just a mess.
So
it's a mess.
Think about this. Politics is organized crime.
Yeah.
And it works like mafia.
Yeah.
And if you are not part of a family, right? When I first got elected, I was the anomaly. I wasn't part of a political family.
Yeah.
You want to know when I stopped getting attacked? Well, it's when I signed a major consulting firm.
Yeah.
Because now it's part of a family.
Yeah.
And it's that simple.
I believe that.
They all know each other. They all know the different games. It's why is the U.S. Democrat Republican? This is a whole other episode we could dive into. But the simple part is, you remember the movie, was it Nicolas Cage, Lord of War?
Yes.
And he makes the comment, he goes, the best place to be is selling weapons to both sides.
Yeah.
What is politics?
Yeah.
You're selling propaganda to both sides.
Yeah.
Now, as your everyday guy down here, working your 9 to 5, 80% of the population, you're just trying to get by. You don't see it because you don't have time to dig, and you see a little bit of crap.
Yeah.
But all this does is show you more of what you like. It doesn't show you the other side.
Yeah.
So
wow. Real fast, I want to do something with you because we got 15 minutes left.
So
you're going to be my longest episode.
I'm just going to say this.
And you're going to come back because we got too much to delve into with you.
Partisan politics and consulting is a multi-billion-dollar industry in the U.S.
Yeah.
Which gets paid more money when sides fight.
Yeah.
Because I can go to you, whether I'm a nonprofit or a party or whatever, and say, give me money to fight these guys. They're bad.
Yeah.
And what do?
You
You sign up for the newsletter. You give them $20 a month. And what are they? They're getting rich. What's changed?
Nothing.
Do we have water in the valley yet?
No. I would tell you something.
Have we fixed the homeless crisis yet?
We never will. I would tell you something, man. I hate to say this, man, but every time I see the governor on the TV, man, I don't agree with anything that this guy says. We're going to go a lightning round because we got 13 minutes left. There's a lightning round.
Lightning round.
All right, here we go. What would you tell a kid from a small town who doubts their future?
You can do anything you set your mind to.
Damn right.
Don't let anybody tell you no.
When your story is told one day, what do you hope people say about you?
He was a good man.
Good. If today were your last day in public service, what message would you want to leave behind?
That one's deeper. Government's supposed to be the guardrails,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be a service to the people, not a dictation to control their lives.
I agree. It should be a spot where nobody gets left behind, but too many people do. After everything you've seen, do you still believe people are mostly good?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
I think people, this goes back to the religion side, have the heart of a child.
Yeah.
I think people, the devil wants us to be angry.
Yeah.
He wants us to be bitter. He wants us to hate.
Yeah.
And when you step back and you look at each other, golden rule.
Yeah. Yeah. Treat people how you want to be treated.
If you step back and take away the resentment and you just go, you know what? That person is going through their own world of shit and they're trying to figure it out and they're hurt and they're sad and they're upset and they've been through hell and everything else. What would I do if I was in their shoes?
Yeah.
And yeah, you may do things differently, right? Because we all sit on our own little high horse. But when we step back, right? You asked me about votes, and I said anti-recidivism stuff.
Yeah.
Because we forget the circumstances that people are in. We judge them from where we're at, not from their own skin.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people, drugs take people down dark roads. And, finally, after war, wounds, politics, victories, failures, do you still believe in hope?
I wouldn't be here if I didn't.
Good man. In the morning, coffee or silence?
A sunrise.
All right.
The tranquility of a sunrise beats anything.
Yeah.
Because you asked about hope.
Yeah.
Seeing the sunrise, seeing the world wake up,
Yeah.
no matter how bad the world gets, no matter the struggles you're in, no matter if you feel like you're drowning,
Yeah.
that sun comes up, it's a new breath, it's a new day, it's a new dawn. Go and make it yours.
I agree, man. You know what? A lot of people call me when they're at their worst, man. And I was born to be in service of others. That's how I truly think. And I never miss a chance to do so. Hardest year of your life in one word.
Hardest what?
Hardest year of your life in one word.
Hardest year of my life in one word. One word's tough. Abyss.
Okay. One book that changed you.
The Book of Mormon.
Okay. All right. A song that gets you through tough days.
Alice in Chains, Rooster.
I love that song. One person you'd think if you could.
I would think if I could.
Yeah.
We talking metaphorically or
Anybody.
Jesus?
Okay. I will leave you with the final quote. In the end, a life well lived is not measured by comfort or applause, but by courage, by service, and by the simple willingness to stand up and go first. Well, folks, tune in next week. I'll have a new guest, and I'll leave you with my quote that I always leave you with. Good luck, God bless, and Godspeed, and keep watching. Thank you.